YouTube, welcome to another stream. Today we're building a Mantellian Savrip, which is one of the chess pieces from A New Hope, and it's featured in the new Mandalorian and Grogu movie coming out. I'm gonna hold off on building the sets. I want to announce this now. I don't think I'm going to be building the sets April 1st like we did for the Smart Play sets. First off, because we are still building the Smart Play sets. These aren't going to be built by the end of the month. We've got about 2/3 of the month left, and we've done 1.5 sets out of 8. So we're going to be probably focusing on that. Hello there. Hello there. And also, I kind of want to see the movie. Am I the only one that wants to see the movie? Oh, why did chat just go down? Don't tell me YouTube's struck another stream. Did I get the wrong link? This might be yesterday's chat. Oops. Yeah, I also want to watch the Mandalorian movie before I build the set so that I know the full context. Then I'll be able, like with Yavin, I've watched A New Hope a million times. We know what's going on at Yavin. Hello there, Moonshoes. So with the X-Wing, with the Y-Wing, with the A-Wing, with even Vader's TIE Advance, we can incorporate it into a scene. With the new Mandalorian sets, we can assume that the snowy one is on Hoth. We can assume... Actually, I think that's all we can assume. We know roughly the scenery for the Razor Crest. At one point, chances are it's going to land on that base that we've already seen in the Mandalorian. But you may be wondering why I am playing with my Lego Squishy Gum Gum Fruit. When I opened up lego.com, first off, how many of you remember seeing this? Because season 1 of One Piece feels like ages ago. This is based on a Lego make and take with some official Lego pieces, but the entire Gum Gum Fruit or Devil Fruit is printed out of TPU plastic so that it's squishy and it acts like a stress ball. It's so soothing. But I was looking on lego.com, of course, always have it up. It's one of my 3 web pages when I open the internet. Lego's new tab. And I noticed that there are 2 new sets that I haven't seen leaked. These aren't the F1 helmets, though we haven't taken a look at those yet. They look decent. But it's actually the Gum Gum Fruit of Mario Kart Luigi Mac 8, which March 10, Mario Day, we called this would be announced. It's already been leaked and teased by Lego and a few other creators. But March 10th is also the day that Season 2 of One Piece come out. Yes, I'm watching it. We've watched through 1 episode so far. And it looks a bit like... Ooh, hold on. Who is this inside? It looks a bit like the football, just better because it's One Piece, not football. A few new pieces on the side. But is it as cool as this squishy One Piece Gum Gum Fruit? Don't know about that. I don't know about that. Oh, it's a little... Is that Monkey D. Luffy on the inside? With a different figure. It's got the same scar under the eye. Nice that you're getting 2 figures in it. It's not bad for £60. A load of new parts in there. I feel like these could be used as a Ninjago spinner at some point. But it's a nice little display piece for those of you that did miss the make and take. Not half bad. Yeah, 2 figures. I haven't looked at this before. I've literally just seen 2 new products and I knew one of them was One Piece. Accompanied by a minifigure of Monkey D. Luffy. Just a mini... yeah, 2 minifigures. Movable arms. And inside is the scene where young Luffy discovers the fruit. That makes sense. Short legs, not midi legs, kind of gives it away. And he's got the Gum Gum Fruit in his mouth. That's so simple, but so cool. Also uses a lot of their new... I think they're the 3x3 rounded off corners. So how that goes together... Going to be a fun little build, that. Not too bad. Not too bad. But we're not here for One Piece today. I'm going to keep this... Oh! Just broke it. I'm going to keep this on my desk in not One Piece, funnily enough. 2 pieces. Where did that other half go? Because I also saw, actually, no, heading back to the internet, Star Wars. Star Wars posted an article a few weeks ago, was it? Where you could decide what Mandalorian clan you're in. So as I started this stream early, let's see what Mandalorian clan I would belong to. Discover your Mandalorian clan. Let's take this quiz. Feel free to answer along at home. What's my favorite hobby? Oh, what is my favorite hobby? Painting. I have got the members board that I'm painting. That's quite fun. Funner than hunting, though we have hunted for Lego deals. Does that count? Hunting for Lego deals is a pastime of mine. Be it scrolling on the internet, going in person, traveling to the Lego store. Again, something that I find really fun. Reading, I'm struggling to do. I am technically keeping up. I read the Thirst Thrawn Ascendancy book in January, the Lego minifigure book in February, and I'm on book 2 right now, but I'm only a chapter in, and we're 10 days into March. I feel like I read a lot more at the end of the month just to try and wrap it up, and hopefully I can read the 3rd book next month as well. I'm really loving the series. Hiking, been there, done that. Wouldn't call that a hobby. Done that once, that's off the list. And swimming's cool in a swimming pool. But if I had to pick one, I think Lego mock building is in the realm of painting. Don't read all the time. Not quite sure that's what they mean. I'm sure they meant something like it. We're in the realm of possibilities here. Might have expanded a little bit, but we're trying to apply this to Lego. Traveling to a Lego store, I'll be honest, not a massive fan. If I could just sit at home and look online and not miss out on anything like make and takes that are in store, the pad wall, build a mini, eventually they will go digital with it because they've started building their online build a mini service and that. Once that is the case, I'm probably going to stay at home. Use their online service. You're getting fresh bricks. No one else has touched them. I think I'm going to have to cross out traveling, hiking, reading. Swimming's fun in the right conditions. But also, I wouldn't just swim if I've got a spare bit at a time. It'd be like a day to the beach. Hunting, definitely not what they mean, is it? With that picture of Boba Fett, I'm going to have to go with painting. The closest to Lego. That's question 1 out of 10. We're going to be here a while. How would you prefer to travel the galaxy? Solo. I get that reference. In the Falcon, Chewie at your side. Trusted allies, good friends from the get-go, trusted clan members. Okay, this sounds like an organization you don't want to be involved with. Speaking of which, an Imperial escort. No thank you. With a close companion. Oh, these are very similar. Trusted allies. So that's multiple. A close companion is kind of like solo, but one other person. I feel like travel the galaxy is kind of like who would you rather live with? People that live in a house with their friends. Not sure how I feel about that. I don't know if I'd be able to live in a place. Gone on holiday with a few of my friends. I don't think I'd be able to live with them. What word describes my personality? This might be up to you, chat, but I'm going to see which one I think and see if you all agree. Resilient, dedicated, proud, creative, loyal, or independent? One jumps out. One jumps out straight away. Loyal, I don't think that describes my personality. I'd first have to have trusted allies. Good point. If you don't have trusted allies, you might be traveling solo. But do you think they're trusted allies as well? Maybe they're not, but you think they are. Adds for a nice story down the line. Loyal doesn't describe my personality. Same with like proud, independent. I wouldn't say they're descriptions for who I am. Dedicated? Probably not, otherwise we would have continued work on Simba. I don't know if dedicated is the right word. Resilient, maybe, but I think creative. I think the channel speaks for itself in the creativity. Maybe it's more imaginative, but once you're given a pool of bricks, I'm going to go with creative. Ooh, this is a harsh one to throw at us. Definitely independent the most, really. I guess, yeah, that works. Even for the channel, that works. It's a lot of me. the odd guest here and there, but without the comment section and without all of you in the stream, it wouldn't be the same. It would just be me speaking to a brick wall, you know. Which Star Wars character is my favorite? Darth Maul. My favorite Sith. Hera Syndulla. My favorite Twi'lek, I guess. Yeah, I think Hera wins there. Darth Vader. My favorite cyborg. Luke Skywalker. My favorite Jedi. My favorite Skywalker, I guess, as Anakin is the only other Skywalker by name, and he gets favorite cyborg. Luke Skywalker, my favorite Skywalker. Ahsoka Tano, my favorite Jedi. Qui-Gon, Yoda. I'm a sucker for a green saber. If they have a green lightsaber, I think I would love their character. Ahsoka Tano, my favorite Clone Wars character. My favorite character from the Ahsoka Tano show. Ahsoka. And Jabba the Hutt from Rebels, who came back in the Ahsoka show. Who is my favorite? Probably Ahsoka Tano, though now I'm considering if Qui-Gon was in this list. Yeah, Ahsoka would probably beat Qui-Gon as well. What's my favorite color? Green. Don't need to wait too long on that. My favorite Star Wars creature. You have a personal relationship with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan wasn't even on the list. And Jabba the Hutt made it. Jabba the Hutt made it and Jar Jar didn't. What does Jabba have to do with Mando? Surely Obi-Wan with a direct tie to Death Watch. But then again, so does Maul have. Maul's a different subsection, I'd say. Choose your favorite Star Wars creature. A convor? What's a convor? Convor. They sell plushes. Oh, it's Morai. The owl. That's a good one. Don't think my favorite. I always thought Morai was just representing Morai. I didn't realize the species had a name. Does that mean they've popped up in other places? That was cool, that scene. Does that mean we've seen other convors? They're probably in Young Jedi Adventures or the other creature spin-off. A Purgle is the giant space wow. Purgle. These guys from Rebels, from Ahsoka, they're pretty cool. Again, not my favorite. They do have quite a few nice perks though. A Rancor, we all know what a Rancor is, don't we? The Rancor from Book of Boba, from Return of the Jedi. That'd be a cool ride, but definitely not my favorite characters. Look at that. You wouldn't want to feed that. Oh, a Koakian monkey lizard. I'm not gonna be. Can I copy that without? Koakian monkey lizard is the one that zaps zaps 3PO's eye and then gets zapped back. Can't remember what it is. A Koakian monkey lizard. Thank you, Google. This guy. Koakian monkey lizard. These are not a pet. These are not pet material. What's the name of the one from Return of the Jedi? It's Salacious B. Crumb. Salacious B. Crumb. Yes, Sally. We call him Sally on the channel. Salacious B. Crumb. That's the one. Oh, this is the show that I was talking about. Star Wars Kids. Quite a good bit of info on some of these animals. Hello there, Odoran. How are we? Just answering a few questions to find our Mandalorian clan at the minute. And then we'll be going into the, I can't even pronounce it, the Mantellian Savrip. Loafcat, Tauntaun. This is a Loafcat in the image here. And a Tauntaun is the character. One word, not two, from the Mandalorian. From Empire Strikes Back. But it is showing up in the Mandalorian and Grogu. Oh, look at that plush. Now that I know the Tauntaun's showing up in Mando, I really would have picked up this hat. Really want to pick it up. It went out of stock ages ago. I saw it reduced in the Disney store. And now I want to pick it up just so I can wear it to go to the Mando and Grogu. We have this Yoda cap here that I got at Disneyland with the little like white tuff on it. I might have to wear this instead. This is quite Grogu. This is Grogu styled, I guess, with a Jedi Master on the front. Grogu's not a Jedi Master yet. Maybe I can stick a little patch that says Mando Padawan, or Mando Trainee. But I guess it works for Mando and Grogu. Heard that Tauntaun smell bad. Well, you think they smell bad on the outside. Don't know what position we'd be in to smell them on the inside. Maybe if you're having a Tauntaun pizza, you would. Which animal do I go with? I like a Tauntaun. Tauntauns are cool. Loaf cats, though. They are the Eevee of Star Wars. Love Eevee, my favourite Pokemon. Loaf cats are the Eevee of Star Wars. Has to be. Which Mandalorian weapon or accessory would you want? Ooh. Whistling birds, sort of one and done. Grapple line, though. A grapple line would be cool on demand. Imagine how many times you want to get somewhere, or you could just throw it at a train and just ski on the tracks behind it. That's what I'm thinking. A grapple line can get you out of any situation. Let me find them. Vambraces? What are they? Mandalorian braces. Oh, this is like the gauntlets. But what do they do? Oh, there's a Star Wars page here. What's a Mandalorian vambrace do? Designed to combat the abilities of a Jedi. Oh, this is the whole Jedi defeating kit. Grappling line. So it has a grappling line. Paralyzing darts, aka the whistling birds. And repulsors. Repulsors? What, like flamethrower repulsor? Repulsor? Repulsor for what? What does the repulsor do? Am I missing something here? Is it like... So we've got the birds, the wire. Oh, is this... That's the repulsor. So a shield. A shield would be really cool in Star Wars. Any saber would be good, but a dark saber would rule. Dark saber. Dark saber's quite heavy though. You have to bend with the blade. I feel like I'm not down to put that much effort into a weapon. The shield would be cool. It combats lightsabers as well, so you wouldn't have to worry about things like the dark saber. Jetpack, portable high ground. I think it's really between these three. Blaster pistol. Not really, because it is literally just that, a pistol. Jetpack, dark saber, vambraces. Let me set up a poll. Let's see. Is it just a yes and a no, or can I add a third? I can add a third. I feel like vambraces aren't going to win because we've already said whistling bird and grappling lines. It's like one use. Same with a grappling line. Someone cuts through it, or unless you want to be there just winding it back up, it's kind of a one use, one hit wonder. Don't sell myself short. I could learn. I suppose that's true with any saber. We just see it with the dark saber the most because everyone else trains to use it. So I suppose we'll treat it as like a lightsaber. We'll try to ignore the heaviness of it and we'll practice with it. Vambraces, dark saber, or jetpack. I'm going to keep vambraces in there for now, but I feel like that one's not going to win. I do feel like that one's probably not, probably not looking likely. Right, in the meantime, let me have a quick look back through. Good thing I've muted this. Ooh, that wouldn't be good. Oh, spelled that wrong. All right, it's not this one. Can anyone remember what stream that was? No, I can't. Unless... Not this one. Oh wait, I might have gone back too far. Was it the A-Wing? Or was... No, it wasn't the A-Wing. Was it the first A-Wing or was it the last X-Wing? Do you remember what the stream that was? So far, Darksaber's winning with a majority, nearly 70%. I feel like Darksabers are solid, isn't it? I feel like the Darksaber is this almighty weapon, not only because it's a lightsaber, but it's got so much history. And that's what makes it as powerful as it does. People trust it. Oh yeah, that was... Was this when we were looking at the sounds? No. Surely not. Oh, that's when we were talking about 3PO. I see. I see. Finishing Yavin 4. Oh, wow. Thank you. You know what? That was like 11 days ago. Was it that long? March is flying by. March is flying by like crazy. And I really hope to build all the smart playsets this month, but I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to take it nice and slow. I think at some point I'll also be mills plating out at least Yavin on stream. Once we do Yavin, Dagobah's going to be a lot of trees, so I'll get those built on stream. And then Endor, a lot of greenery. I suppose just a lot of trees back there, which is handy. We might be able to build some Lego around here using some of the rubber parts. We can get trees built up around the sides and like frame the diorama. Even though they're going to blend in, we're going to have trees right here and trees right here. So we're going to have a think about that. All right, let's have a look. So not that one, not that one. Oh yes. So oh, it must have been like a majority. How late was it into the stream? Was it towards the end? No. Was it? Maybe it was. Apparently I say 35 times. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's quite hard to just scroll through. Suppose I'm not looking for any specific words, but I say a lot. Oh yeah, it was right at the end, so it must have been what, 2 hours in? Huh. Around halfway. Maybe just before the 2 hour mark. Oh, there you go. At least you know whereabouts it is. Finding the exact time is quite a pain. Oh, here we go. So 1 hour 52 minutes and 16 seconds. There's a line. Was that the first line though? 1 hour 52 1 hour 52 minutes and 16 seconds. What do you mean? Starts off. And they should be around that. Hello there. Hello there. Welcome. All right. So I'm going to agree. Darksaber. Jetpack would be cool, but a jetpack also needs fuel. The Darksaber is the best option here. Because where am I going to get jetpack fuel? And this is just a combination of these two with a shield. I'm going Darksaber. You've convinced me. I am now ruler of Mandalore, no matter what clan I belong to. How would I decorate my Mandalorian armor? Lots of paint. Something to match my Darksaber. So black and white, like Spider-Man Noir type is this. Nothing better than plain Beskar. Everything's better than plain Beskar. No offense. No problem. And no offense to the Mandalorian, but the Mandalorian painted his armor. For the first episode of the first series, he paints his armor and then gets caught up in this Imperial stuff and doesn't have time to go back. Did I put up that Ninjago poster recently? Oh yeah, Monday's video. We got another Ninjago magazine. Go check that one out after this. And I also finish off the Forbidden 5, or the Affordable 5 as we're going to call them. All from the magazine, which was kind of crazy. Oh wow, the Moldalorian. That has a nice ring to it. Following existing clan designs? No, I'm not one to follow patterns. Helmet looks great with some horns. Ooh. What if Mando, the Mudhorn wouldn't work with a horn-shaped object? It'd look like either a unicorn or something way too inappropriate. What about Tauntaun horns? Tauntaun horns on the side. That's a bantha horn going round. Tauntaun horn or bantha horns coming out the side of the helmet. Fully customized, changing with the seasons. Not really, and whatever's practical. No, I'm going with Tauntaun horns on my Mandalorian helmet. That's amazing. Tauntaun horns coming down. That's just so Mandalorian as well. I've seen some similar ideas at conventions with Mandalorian armor, custom armor, and they have like the Viking horns out the side. This is my take on that, except for it's not Viking. It's Star Wars inspired. The Moldalorian with Tauntaun horn helmet. How do I approach problems? Take my time to work through them? I wouldn't say I take my time. Secretive about my plan to solve any problem? Oh no. Strategize quickly. That's definitely more me. Concoct an elaborate plan. I haven't planned what I'm doing this stream. I don't know about plans. Collect information to make strategic decisions that are quick. I suppose so. And talk over the issue with friends. Probably collecting information to make strategic decisions. What planet would I like to visit? Mandalore, obviously, Mando. Concordia, which is the moon of Mandalore. Not really. Not with its history. Maybe the tower, the Lady Cries Tower, the one that Bo-Katan inherits. That would be a cool place to visit. Dathomir? Definitely not. Lothal? Ooh, okay. Concept art Alderaan right here. Tatooine, way too hot. Navarro, also too hot. Too rocky, too much lava. Running around screaming, "This is a perfect time to panic," isn't on the list. It should have been for the last one. Lothal. Mandalore was close. Oh, you know what? Clan Ren. I'll take that. Don't mind if I do. A storied warrior family, Clan Ren has seen its fair share of turmoil, much like Mandalore as a whole, but under the leadership of Ursa Wren and her determined daughter Sabine Wren, they reunited, coming back together as a stronger family and a clan that prides itself on their capabilities. My ability to adapt, rebellious spirit, and creativity make me a fantastic addition to Clan Ren. Tatooine. Oh snap! Hey, we are Moldalorian Wrens here on the channel. The Moldalorian. Clan Ren is cheese coloured as well. Perfect. Clan Ren. If you want to take this quiz for yourself, head over starwars.com/news/choose your Mandalorian clan, or hyphenated, and let me know. Let me know what clans you get as well, because I assume there's a load of different ones. I wonder though, how out there they go. I wonder how many clans they've added to it. Oh yeah, Star Wars After Dark is back. Pretty sure they just ended that last year. Any other news besides the Lego sets? Oh, I've just gone back on the Mando thing. No, doesn't seem to be anything. Advertising the Smart Play sets, but this didn't come out too long ago, did it? Oh, it came out the day of release. Fair enough. Before we head on, I didn't give a look at all at the Luigi Mark 8. It looks pretty nice. Next to the Mario Kart, It's an expensive set. It's an expensive set. It's a display set. So not one that holds up too well to being rolled around if some of the newer sets are anything to go by. But yeah, nice coffee table piece. And it has that same angled display as the original Mario Kart. Some of the bigger Batmobiles have had as well, which is nice. It's concealed very well underneath. It doesn't draw your attention, unlike some of the UCS displays. You can quite clearly see that black display stand holding up the Slave one. That one's not too bad. But I think the Falcon one, for how fragile that is as well, that one's not the best. But we don't need Lego.com because what we're building today doesn't have instructions. And where do we start? Gotta love a cheesy Mandalorian. Oh, well, it'd be yellows, greens. That looks pretty cool. We'll have to design our own Mandalorian minifigure, a Mouldie-lorian. Our own Mouldie-lorian minifigure. That would be fun. I have an image, somewhere I have an image of the Mantellian Savrip. If you don't know what the Mantellian Savrip looks like, let's have a look. It's this guy from the thumbnail. I think this is the exact image in the thumbnail as well. And there is an image I took on display. I think it was at the O2 for Star Wars Identities. All the way back in probably 2012, over 10, nearly 15 years ago, of the puppet inside. And it looks like a Lego ball joint system, to be completely honest. I'll see if I can find, oh, look at that. Mantellian Savrip puppet. And it's linked my Anzelon speeder video from 4 days ago. Is it because we're doing the stream now? Or just because no one searches Mantellian Savrip puppet? I didn't add puppet to the title though, so I don't know why that would pop up. Oh no. Do they not have it? Yeah, the inner puppet does look all ball jointy. Let's see if it's on display anywhere. They were on display Star Wars Identities, and they were also then later. Where was? Oh no, I saw him at the Fan Strikes Back, which that was fun. There is a short on the channel about it. Wish I made a full video. No puppet on display, so we'll just have to use some of the default images of it to try and work out. This is it from The Mandalorian. Kinda looks a lot scarier than the one from A New Hope, which is this puppet. I suppose it's because it's up close, a load of VFX. It's not meant to look inviting, you know? It does have horns on the top though, so we'll bring out our Tauntaun horns for that. And we've got dark green, maybe a dark tan as well. Color is very close to both. And then a brown costume, a little brown poncho almost, covering it up. So I think this is the best image. But the first thing we got to do is make a nice ball joint structure so that we can pose it. And unlike mechs that have the arms locked, I love a good ball joint. We've got so many from the pick and build wall when they came to Lego stores. So well, I think it's so many considering what we had before. 1, 2, 3 tubs full of them. And this is how we're going to create our structure. This and a few other plates. We need wrists, elbows, shoulders, hips, knees, maybe ankle joints as well. The best piece to use is going to be these 1x2s because we can then stud them down. Their central joints probably going to be easier to hide. But let's build out a little skeleton and then we can go from there. We'll see what the skeleton looks like as to how much detail we'll be adding. I do want to make this quite big. Do we know the height of it? Mantellian Savrip height. Let's see. Oh, only 4 meters tall. Let's get rid of all these ads. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye. There we go. As of Wikipedia, only 4 meters tall. Where's that from? Mask of the Pirate Queen. That's a comic or a book? It's an adventure book, but it does look looks quite thin, almost like it's a comic. And it's an extended adventure supplement, released 2015. So it is canon. Disney, every book Disney have released falls under canon. So therefore, although it's under Legends actually, but it's 2015, so it is a canon novel. I don't think anything released since Disney took over, well, you know, within a couple of years maybe, but 2015 is when they rebooted the books, because that's the year that Tarkin came out and Aftermath was out by that point. That had come out a few years before. So I'm going to take that as the official height of 4 meters. To find out how tall that is in Lego, what do we want to do? 4 meters divided by 0.8. The reason why I'm going with 0.8, wait, 4 meters. Let's get this to Lego scale first. 4 meters divided by 45 gives us 8.8 centimeters. Oh, that is beautiful. 8.8 and then some centimeters divided by 0.8 is 11 studs wide. And that works out as the height because of the desk mat we've got here, which is available. The link is in the description if you do want to pick up a desk mat that helps you build Lego. We've got the stud difference on it. So as we're building, we've got to remember it's 11 studs tall, and then we'll position the arms and try and get it to size up to what it looks like in this image. Try and get the arms to scale, try and get everything looking like it should. And hopefully we'll be able to do it with not as many pieces as I fear we might need. Look, ball joint for the neck as well. I think we get 2 ball joints. I think we get 2 ball joints in the neck. That way we've got the face that can look left and right and the whole neck that can move up. It is like another appendage, maybe even, if we're going all out, maybe even a ball joint for the jaw. And we'll flip that around and then we can get some teeth in there. So we've got the neck, we've got the jaw. I guess the jaw can apply to the head, just like so. And that'll be the bottom jaw moving. Don't see the top of the head moving at all. We also need some plates. Because it's dark tan, maybe we go with some dark grey plates. We don't want to have them too light in case they're showing, but we also don't want to use up too much tan and green in case we need them for the back of this thing, which is going to be like an orangey brown. So maybe tan and green isn't too much of a problem using those. The neck, do we want the neck long? See, 11 studs wide isn't too long. That's 7, that's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, this thing is tiny. This, I mean, it's minifigure scale, which fair enough. I thought this was going to be a lot bigger. This is like 2 minifigures tall. Why did I think this was going to be massive? I thought this was going to be like huge. But no, it's, I don't even know if we need an egg joint. I don't know if that's a bit of posability we can get. That might be a bit too extra. We've got some arms to add on. Maybe we need smaller ball joints. There's not too much of a torso. Probably about 6 studs so. But that's 6 studs. All right, the legs do stick out the side, which is nice from a positioning angle because we can keep the torso looking long and the legs looking long without them bumping into each other. And then maybe covering up the ball joint with some more slopes, get a plate hanging down the side. Oh, this thing is not big at all. We might need to get rid of the ball joints and just brick build the whole thing still. Maybe a big fig is in order. Custom 3D printed big fig. Big fig doesn't help if you can't brick build it. And then Oh, so the leg goes out, knees come down. No, that's a bit too spread. Okay, that I can work with. Get some smaller plates. We've got one knee, two knee, and then a foot. But this for a foot? Yeah, that would work. Probably this side down, because then we can get some toes at the front. Or we build it on its side, and then those toes can be cheese slopes. We need elbows and width. That's why I want to collect all the parts we need before I put this away. This thing's going to be tiny. What? Why so small? I think we might need to swap these out for the 1x2 pieces with the ball and the socket on either end. But that just doesn't feel right. That's like one of the tiny mechs, which is what this essentially is the size of. We could get a giraffe costume for the head, and then a giraffe costume piece for the head. That will stick up. Position the minifigure forward and just build some little mech arms to it. I think you get away with that. It's not as much detail as we're going for today. We're in it for the detail, but it would hold up for a mock. Oh yeah, I said about plates and then came back empty-handed. Dark bluish grey. Ooh. Ooh, that hurt my ears. I think I just rammed it into the desk. Got to be more careful with that. So 1x3s will hold on the thighs, either that or corner plates. Corner plates would be just as, if not more secure, because they're not in a straight line. Yeah, and then we can slope out the back. Not liking all this dark bluish grey, but this is just the skeleton. We will be covering this up and making it look a bit nicer as we're going forward. That way we've got the bulky knees out front, just like so. So flipping the leg on their side, and then bringing this down front. And already, how are we with our height? So we've got 1, 2, is that resting on top? 1, oh, I don't even think that's a full stud. There we go, we'll call it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know if we'll be able to fit this in. I think we might have to overlap these, and I think that's our 11 studs. Why is this guy so small? Oh, I've built this leg out wrong. This is meant to be coming in, not out. Otherwise this guy's going to be a lot wider than they should. Tiny little creature. We could make an entire chessboard with all these parts if they release. I guess I should have images of all of them and their puppets. That'd be an awesome collector's piece, the entire hologram chess. That would be cool. We've got space to build up the front here. And we can definitely add some snot bricks or brackets on the side to cover up most of it. These arms want to slope down. There's not going to be enough room to do that. So I might slope those up and do the same as the ground. Have the elbows. The elbows like that. Maybe instead of just folding them up, we can rotate them out. Yeah, something like that. And then for the hands, we want the arms to come out. So a 2x2 should do the trick. And the hands are going to be brackets with slopes on the end for the fingers. We've got 3 fingers by the look, 3 or 4. This looks like a now up here. So 1, 2 fingers and a thumb. And the same on the other side. This, I don't know why they cut off the side. Yeah. You can see just next to the mouse here, we've got like a thumb and 2 fingers or 3 fingers. Quite basic. 2 toes as well. Bottom corner. A left and a right toe. Each that come to a little spike. So a toe piece would go well. We do have a few little tooth elements that would work for the toes. And that's the height of it. Well, it adds up to the height. Oh, I wish it was a little taller. And then the foot slopes off at the back. Maybe we flip this the other way around. Get some inverted toes on there. I want the belly to build out at least another stud more, because then that will conceal the ball joints as well. Maybe you can raise those a little. Get some slopes, get some anti-slopes around that neck. I think we should be able to slope it off then and there. Maybe remove that 2x4 for a 2x2. Get some 2x2s out here. Make sure we don't slam them into the desk though. Don't know what would fall first, the desk or the drawer. And I don't want to find out. Yeah, 2x2. We'd be able to slope that straight off. I don't know depth-wise if that would help. We could rotate it on its sides. I don't think that's going to help too much. We've then got if we include a jumper, we get a 2x2, and the same here with jumpers. We could then, if we include a 2x2 jumper, we can get a 2x3 on top. That'd just make it harder to get the sides covered. Unless we slope it off or get some ingot that would do the job. What angles do we have? What sort of jumpers do we have as well? Dark tan we said about. So I'll keep a few of those out. Actually, a few dark tan 2x2s wouldn't hurt, would they? Because we might need to have some of those gaps showing. And dark tan brackets, can we go dark tan all the way, or? Oh, I only got a few darker grey ones here. So darker grey it is. This will fill up the side. We need also an undertop or some sort of rounded off. It can be darker because it's on the underside of the creature, but we need some sort of something to flatten it off. Cover all the gaps. It's a rounded tile. It's in the rounded drawer. No, it's not in the rounded drawer. It's in the close drawer. Because there wasn't enough space for it. Not looking good in terms of greens and dark tans in here. There's a light tan. There's a dark grey. It is quite dark. I don't suppose these characters, these monsters, are keeping too well hygiene. So maybe dark grey would go unnoticed with the nougaty browny colours lower down, and that's just to stop the neck coming too far down. So we'll probably even want to space that out just a little bit with a door rail of sorts, and then this is the piece for on top. And a 2x3 or a 2x4 or a 2x, so many different type of bricks can fit in there. It ends quite abruptly, but then we have that triangle coming down. This is how tall it should be. It's crazy. We also have like a bracelet. That's going to be hard to make. Or some sort of restraint maybe. It looks more like an accessory. The fact that it matches the clothes. Is this not a droidica? This is such a droidica. We have built a droidica outline for this, which means this character should be able to roll better than the big Lego droidica display. You can just ball up and roll with it. All right, 2 legs. Needs to have quite big feet if it's going to stand on its own. I can kind of see the resemblance already. There's our character so far. It's very droidica-y, and I think it's because of the head, because this isn't notably a jaw yet. So it looks like the head sticks out a bit too far, but trust in the process. We've got our puppet now. Hello there. This is the basis of the character. So the arms are going to be a pain. The arms are going to be the worst part. I think we're going to start there because the arms are going to be the worst part. Maybe the legs. I've got some good ideas for the legs though. I think I know what we will go in. With the arms, I have no idea. We want to curve this off as well. It's all dependent on what slopes I have in dark tan and green, olive green. One of the best colors for this. And also plates, 1x2s. There's some I mistook earlier, I guess. Let's see what we've got. Got some brown for the belt. We could do that mech style. We could also use a few of these on the top. There's our mech style belt going around. Should that be one lower? I think one lower would bump into the legs. We need that above where the legs come out. And the legs themselves need so many slopes. We do have a few dark tan of these. They might be handy for the neck. For the neck, we could add these to two 1x1s. Yes, because that's going to cover the ball joint, and we also won't need to build up the back as much. Good thing I had these to hand. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll whack these in a random drawer on a stream, and I completely forget where I've put them. And then later on, I'll go looking for them, swearing they'll be here, there, swearing they should be wherever, and they're not because I forgot to put them away properly. Still looking droid. You know what? This is even more droidica-y than it was. Maybe this is where the droidica got inspiration from. Something to fill this in would be nice. Like a rounded 2x2. That wouldn't interfere too much with the top. Maybe even a 2x2 jumper that we can add an orange tile or something that looks hairy. What's a hairy Lego element? A hairy Lego element would belong there. And then just a flat tile. Oh no, we need some more like orange fuzz. Orange flowers maybe? What looks orangey and hairy? I'm going to keep this drawer out. That's going to be a handy one. Orangey and hairy. We've got a stack of these. Something that looks orangey, fluffy. Lego fluff is hard to do. Normally for hair, they fill it in a bit more. So we could use some cheese slopes, or if I had any orange grill pieces, any of these in orange, now would be the time for them to show themselves. Come on, I've got a few dark oranges, but I don't think I have any bright oranges. And this kind of works for the orange we're looking for. But we don't want kind of works, we want really works. It's not too bad a choice, especially on the sides. This would work nicely. But again, we don't want kind of works. We want all the way, this is it sort of thing. Oh, what if we don't cover up the whole thing? We have like an orange jumper on the side, because that would be somewhat covered by... No, that wouldn't be covered at all, would it? If we had a bracket up the side. We'd need to have already put the bracket in. But that wouldn't be entirely visible from the top. And then we have something like this on top of another jumper. What's that look like? 2x2 jumper on a 1x2 jumper with a 1x2 grill. There's just no need for plates in any of this. I'm liking a little bit of orange. We're still able to tilt the head up, which is what we want. The grill's a little loose on top. It spins a bit. We need to cover those sides. I'm thinking straight up, just a 1x2 covering that side. Or maybe we lower it down a bit. The neck is pretty dark, so we could get a dark bluish grey bracket. Something in there to fill in the gap. So many choices. One of these up the side. It covers the orange, but we don't have to cover the orange the whole way. and we can have an angle coming out the back. This is the jaw, isn't it, as well? So we need to think about the head, because this neck section is really where this hair should be coming out of. So we've got horn out the back. That horn could probably cover the back section. Yeah, we've got the orange hair going through. Maybe we slot that back one. Maybe we slot that back. It still works, unlike the A-wing, it still works when it's fully open. And then it does shroud a bit of that gap. All right, like in the hair, we have the horn out the front and some sort of sloped element, some sort of tile at the back. Maybe we use a 1x2 rounded off. And then we've got the jaw here, which is pure slope. That's going to be sloped, nice dark inside of the mouth. We need to bridge that out. This jumper piece is kind of hurting us here because we needed a 1x2. I think we needed a 1x2 here, or a 2x2, so that we could attach eyes and a nose. We have nothing to attach any sort of semblance of eyes, nose, any of that without it. We can't use this because that just pops everything off, but we'd still be able to use our orange jumper. It just raises the head a little. Can roar up to the moon, but we're not building a werewolf. Would be nice to angle the horns off the front. What if we try that with a 1x2, have some superhero poses hanging out the side? Let me go grab those. I can't wait to see the whole arena. Star Wars. Star Wars have been teasing so much of Mando with their photos. We've now got a photo of Mando in the arena with Rota, I think, which we've never seen them side by side. It's the first time that we're seeing the both of them in the arena. And they're just sprinkling these images. I hope they're not spoiling everything. I want to go to the cinema and be pleasantly surprised by some of the things that occur there. But the amount that they've got to share, because there's so much popping back that has been a part of Star Wars for decades. There's so much they can share without spoiling anything, that I think this movie is going to turn out to be a really good one. Got some big hopes for it. And I wonder what characters they are like keeping, because with Mando we get so many character reveals where they've distracted us with a certain name that we remember and they've just pulled out someone else. The whole Luke Skywalker thing was nuts. And that's, I mean, that's probably where Mando peaked for a lot of people. So they've got to beat that. And not only have they got to beat that, they've got to keep in mind that they've got to beat it again. I recently was playing Tetris Bop It, great game. And I beat my high score by like 40. It's something crazy. I didn't realize the game goes on for so long. It's mainly to do with the special sections in it where you can get bonus points. There's a cap at the regular score, but you can keep getting more bonus points. And I smashed my previous record. And it upset me a little bit because I could have slowly beaten that once a day for a month and a half, but I just smashed it instead. And it's a similar thing with Mando. They can only beat it so much before it just can't be beat, and before they've reached their limit, before they've peaked, which is a long way off for Mando. But it's on its way. It's on its way. The horns don't stick out that much. They don't. And oh, we could swap around the brackets on the side. Oh, that's it. It's lost an arm. It's not getting that one back. No, he's getting that one back. We need that. So that needs to be locked in place. The jaw also could be dropped below the bracket. Or moved forward. Or move forward or replace with clips. Having the jaw below. No, we've still got the same situation. I think I just broke this apart and rebuilt it as it was. If only there was a way we could connect this 2x2 and have a 1x2 at the same time. I think I've just got it. I've just got it. Exactly that. exactly what I was saying. So a 2x2 is just two 1x2s. We've put these clips on the exact same 1x2. If we move one to a new one, we can then have them push out the front. Not only that, but they sink further into the ball joint because there's holes on it. There's holes on the ball joint, so they sink even further down. And now they're at the right height for a horn. We only have one stud, I think, on the side. Two's a little overkill. We can include some sort of rounded off tile, some rounded off element, anything that's rounded off and would look good. And also get the eyes and little bits in the front as well. Or we can include the horn over the top, because I like the wedge. I like the idea of the wedge. A wedge is always going to fit. Similar to the rounded piece back here. No matter how far that goes back, a rounded piece is always going to fit. And I might even move that one forward and get a 2x3 in there. Or a little 2x2. Nah, 2x2 is too small. 2x2 is too small. We need to think a little bit bigger. Got some horns on the top. So maybe this can move up. Maybe we plate this off instead of a jumper, just so it's secure. And also centers it. So now we don't need to worry as much about the pieces below it. Just the one of those. How high is the head able to go? So that's its resting position. It does need to crank its neck up. That feels natural. Besides the point where it pops off, that's not natural. The head should stay on. So slope there, eyes down the side, piercing red eyes, scarily glowing red eyes right on the front. And then they've got that little bulge out and slopes down. So that nose is a little problem. We want something central, and this bottom jaw. I think this bottom jaw needs a slope on top. One more bracket before we put this away. Want more of those grey ones to keep it symmetrical. Otherwise we're going to have an exposed side of the neck. And then glowing eyes need to fit in. Oh, yes. You need to be up a little bit. We're not pushing down these superhero poses all the way. We're pushing them down until they meet the bracket. So maybe add your brackets first if you're trying to do this at home. Then a 2x2 slope in probably dark tan. Dark tan seems to be the color we're going with here. And it's a similar case with the Yavin speeder that we built. And we ended up using dark tan instead of a greeny color for that. It's a more accessible color, and I think it's closer to what Lego we're going for here. Olive green is a nice color, but it's not quite monster color. I think it's more of a friendly monster color green. Even olive green looks a bit friendlier than dark tan compared to, there's more dragons in it as well, green. We don't want to confuse this for a dragon. There's the chin. The underside, nope. Oh, it's not low enough to move around. No problem. We just move it one forward and make sure we've got something to cover this as well. So we want the slope going out back. Something, maybe a 1x2 slope to go out front, because we can fit teeth on the underside here. And then they'd still be showing when the mouth is shut, which I like the idea of. If only we had tan teeth, which I don't think we do. Maybe get a slope here. How are we going to do the eyes? The eyes and the nose. The nose is probably going to be flat. The eyes glowing red is tricky with a bulge over the top. Maybe a tile, maybe a slope. They're not as far back as these horn elements. Maybe a cheese slope out the front as well. Maybe a cheese slope. Maybe we need another one of these. Let's get some glowy red eyes. Oh, look at that. So many of them from stud shooters over the years. And I've grouped them up in pairs. Just for this occasion. Because we have a gradual, I'd say it's a gradual slope down actually from the horns. But those eyes are too close. Yeah, it's definitely a slope down, not a slope up. How much of a slope down? What if we add, oh, what if we do use a jumper? We got the orange jumper. We can replace the color and then have a 1x4. Does a 1x4 stick out too much? Because the nose would then be wider. But a 1x3 isn't wide enough. 1x3 is not wide enough. It brings the mouth to a nice close. And then we've also not got the teeth covered. Nope, scrap that. That's not a good idea. Let's go back to our 2x2 slope. Because for the underside, we could tell that off. Maybe even bring it in. Not that way, but we bring it in to a point. And then these slopes, yeah, they could start off one higher. We've got 2 studs of space there. I want to use that up. I want that to be used for a reason. I don't want that just to be plates or just to be holding something in. We do need a 1x2 to bridge the gap, but there's a space for something there. There's a space for something. At the minute we'll add a 1x2 plate, but there's a space for a reference, space for so much. Why is the camera always turning on its own? Keep an eye out on that. And then we can still add our chi slope at the end. Chi slope or ingot. Something to cover up the eyes. Maybe we go with the bigger slope from the get-go. Maybe we save that for the chin. Oh, a bracket coming downwards would look good on there. And we can slope that out as well. Add a bit of detail to the chin. Yeah, 1x4 seems overkill. What about a 1x3? 1x3? No, 1x2. Where did I put my tray? I had that out earlier. I feel like I might have used it to hold something. Might be holding one of our other projects. There's a 1x4 again. I don't have 1x3s. Is Grogu hogging my 1x3s? No, I don't think Grogu uses any 1x3s either. 1x4s are gonna... 1x4s would go over the horns. They would cover it. But I think they might cover it too much. Maybe we stick the horns out to the side. We stick to that. And have 1x4s. They can have the eyes in them. Maybe some teeth. Maybe some teeth in there. The eyes would be on the side. Maybe some teeth. Teeth is quite a hard thing to show in Lego. We've got a whole brick space back here. I don't want to have that much space. We need to make this head a little smaller. Maybe we add the eyes on the side. Maybe the eyes go on the side here. We tilt it forward a bit more. We have the jaw, the nose. No way. Well, there are a few ways we can attach it to the back. I just don't think that's going to look the best. The eyes need to be up front about here. Where the jaw opens, the eyes need to be above that. So right next to this piece, which if it's a slope, I'm not sure this is going to work how I imagine. Unless we can have a chi slope coming down the other side. Really relying on that chi slope. Really hope the chi slope pulls through here. Oh, this is why all my brick separators go missing. Get you out of here. Get some studs in here. Some glowing dark eyes. And I suppose using the 2x2 on top would hide better than if I was to use the two 1x2s on the bottom. That one wouldn't be a problem. I think it's the lack of definition around the side of the face that I'm not too into, but this is a solid angle for it. This is what the face looks like. It's a bit thicker. It doesn't come to the pointed snout. To make this figure scout is difficult enough. And then to add teeth on the top and bottom, no chance. We're going to have to pick what looks better, top, bottom. I think top's going to look better, but I also haven't given it a go. So any more slopes are needed? Maybe something at the back to cover this? Oh, okay. It kind of works at the back, covering that, but we also don't have any orange. We did want some orange. Can't believe we don't have a dark tan jumper. Bit of orange hair on the back. It's not terrible, is it? Oh, I don't like the fact that it's not terrible. I wanted that to be an instant no, but it can't be because it's not bad. We've got two 2x2 plates. We can replace that with a 2x4. Let's get one in here. Our first 2x4 in dark tan. I don't think we'll be using too many of those. But then we can flip around the way the eyes are gone. We get the slope sticking out the front. Maybe a squeezer jumper in the back. That jumper can hold the hair, because there's a drop down after the immediate head and the horns as well, which would be nice to get the horns on top. And you know what? It looks kind of snaky, very droidery as well, but it's coming together. I think this side detailing is going to be everything. What can we get in there? And how much of this can we put away? The 1x2s. Would the 1x2s work around each other? Could we flip those around? Oh, Darksaber's losing its grip in the pole. Yeah, the 1x2s go at a slight angle. That's not what we need. We need... Oh. But then this doesn't fold down the whole way. If we've got some slopes that can curve right up under the chin, that would work. That would work. Because anything that comes around the side or underneath will block the jaw. Something like a rounded plate, if we could sneak that inside, that would work lovely. That would work perfectly. Something with a corner, one of these. Oh, look. Right colour as well. And then that doesn't get in the way of the jaw. Still looks very snaky, yeah. Maybe we add a slope back here. And then add the grill to the side. So we've still got the hair. No, that's not very secure. We need to double up on the jumpers there. Double up on the jumpers, and then we can add the hair on top. Or a jumper in the middle. Do we have a dark orange one of these? Let's put these away first, so we don't get them confused with our droidica. Oh, this is going to be messy. If only I had a 3D printed tray that I could pour these in with. All right. So, in you go. So if we have a dark orange, one of those 1x4 floats for the top, see, orange isn't going to look as good. Orange is going to stand out too much. Then we can add a jumper here, and that can represent the hair. We have something to build up the side. I just don't like the bright orange. The bright orange is drawing my attention away too much. and I don't want it to do that. I just want it to kind of fit in with the rest of the build. We could paint this up a little dark tan, hide some of the orange, alternatively get some dark tan slopes in there and paint a few little orange fuzzy bits on the top. Also covering that ball. I mean, we've covered it on the top with orange. If we have something rolling up the side, where did those dark tan slopes go? Because they'll fit up the sides. Really? Just about? Maybe not. It's mainly not because of this side. If we pop off the head, so inhumane. If we pop off the head, they'll fit. No, they won't. They won't even fit because of the side bit at the back. So these aren't going to work. That would look perfect. If these could fit, that would be amazing. We just need a longer ball joint, and I don't want to give too much more size to this head because it's already looking pretty large. So we'll just tile that off. And then this needs to be angled down, maybe get a bit of dark orange up here. We'll replace these, but I like the idea of having that bracket by the neck. Hello there. Welcome. All right, so I'll keep the orange for now. I don't have any dark orange pieces. We could also swap that out for two of the smaller slopes, or we could like invert the entire build if we wanted to overcomplicate it. But let's secure in that head. This is the build so far. We've got the snake head coming out of the Droideka body. This is not going to look like this by the time we're finished. Hopefully it won't. But we do need to secure in this top bit first. I keep saying about securing it in. If we have this section on the bottom and a different section on the top, we're not actually securing anything. So I think we could go back to using this slope. Just to form that jaw. Give the jaw some shape, because we've got these two studs at the end. Give the jaw some shape and still get our slope in the back. And then we wouldn't have to worry about sloping off this side. We'd just tile it off with whatever we can find. We'll come back to these slopes. Plenty more, I'm sure. We're going to need some for the legs. And then I'm going to brush those to the side. We might need them, we might not. We're probably almost definitely going to need them though. Or at least make a use of them. If the Mantellian speeder is anything to go by, every single piece I tossed aside for that. Well, I didn't toss aside, I kept it to the side and ended up adding it to the build later on. That Mantellian speeder was, for how small it turned out to be, that Mantellian speeder was just absorbing parts. It used so many more parts than I thought. And I was reworking it. I've reworked it with the new Mantellian set, the Starfighter. And the amount of parts I had left over that weren't used for it. It's a smaller build that uses less parts. But it comes from a set, which is usually how they go. But for an alt build, I never expected that to be the case. Get some dark orange up the front. And then this, see right now the build just falls apart. You touch one piece and it's all so fragile, which is the same for the head. You've got this 2x4, these two ball joints, which aren't going to secure themselves. So we're going to add a bracket to the bottom, a bracket to the top, and find a wedge to bridge that gap. So now all of these parts are being held together. Same technique that was used on the Force Burner Snowspeeder. Not the only set, not the first Lego set that it's been used on, but it's a Lego technique as old as brackets and snot bricks to try and get these small connections really secure. If I was to secure that down, we're going to do it with a plate later on, you can just flop around the jaw, have it say anything. Subscribe to Master Mouldie. Get it to say anything, and you're not gonna have to worry about it falling off, especially with a 2x4 on top. That is solid. Oh, started a window washing business. Awesome, made $80 in 2 days. Not bad. It was a good start, yeah. Saving for a car and the Lego City Prison Island. Hope you're able to get it. It's a great way of helping out. And then they help you. You get money towards a car and Lego. They also get clean windows in return. Be funny if you were washing car windows to get a car, because then you'd be, I mean, even washing non-car windows, you'd know how to wash your car windows by the time you get a car. You'd be a professional at it with all the experience. I had to go out into the garden the other night, into the cold, because if you're eating, maybe mute the stream for a little bit if you don't like certain conversations whilst you're eating. But I had to go out into the cold because a bird had decided to take a massive poo on the window. Just this line of bird shit, just straight right down the middle, right down the like crack of the window as well. It wasn't on the crack, but there's two windows, and right down the left one in the middle was just this big glob. Very nice, very nice. Thank you, bird, for that. Unbelievable. Oh, we did need a stud here so that we could add a tauntaun horn. That's going to be a little problem. Unless we clip it out the side. If you're in the UK, you could have helped. Yeah. That would have been nice. I just went out there, wiped it down and cleaned the window. Oh, what's the chance, though, of a bird hitting that spot, especially where it's positioned? Because normally they're all up the fence where they're chilling. Ooh. How are we gonna... I think I get the tauntaun horns first, and then we work out how they're gonna go in. At least we can use regular slopes up the side. Leaves the jaw a bit too free. Maybe a clip and bar would have been perfect for this, but maybe Mando is like smacking them and they've got the jaw slow motion, just creaking off to the side in ways it shouldn't be possible. And then tiles on the side, maybe even plates. This is quite This is quite a rough monster here. So the fewer tiles we can use, I feel like the better looking it's going to be. And then add a little bit of hair on the back, maybe. A few little tufts. Yeah, that bright orange is distracting. Very distracting. I think I'm going to switch that back to the tan. And like I say, we can always paint little orange tufts on it if we really wanted to add them. But because we've got the dark orange on the top, it's not necessary at all. Maybe even add a door rail to the side here. Or a few different jumpers. Let's not complicate it too much. Not whilst we've got a build going. Add some horns on the top, just like so. We do need that rounded off plate, don't we? We need that rounded. We need something with a hole in it. There's a few pieces with a hole in it. We've got jumpers, but we need something to come across these two with a hole. I think for now this is the best that we've come across, and it gives the neck so much mobility. We can move it around in angles that you probably aren't going to need to move it around in. But just in case, it's nice to know it's possible. Yeah, I don't need these. Especially when it comes to a minifigure scale character, having more posability is at the expense of design. That's okay for minifigure scale. If it was a bigger display model, you wouldn't need all these ball joints, but this thing is like 90% ball joints. No problem, Frank. Frank D. You're very welcome. So, game plan. I think we mimic what we've done on the other side so we don't forget it. I'm going to grab those tauntaun horns and then work on the body. It's better to have a body that works with arms and legs that are penned in than to have arms and legs that work that don't fit with the body, and then we're going to have to resize the knee joints because these knee joints can't get any smaller. So let's make the body work and beef it up a bit, because this serpent head It's like they've taken the head of a serpent, whacked a poncho on it and a belt, and then put it on the body of... Three fingers, massive legs. I can't even tell you the animals they've put together. It's like a snake head and neck with 2 horns. You've got quite a humanoid body. The arms of... Not the arms of an angel. That song's come to mind. Definitely not the arms of an angel. What is it? Another house to watch this week. Don't know how much. Probably about 40 or so. $5 a window. Oh, not bad. £3. Yeah, so many window companies charge so much for windows. We've got a fair amount of windows, so that's quite a bit when you add it all up. But that doesn't sound bad. Put it on the body of a rancor. It does remind me of a rancor. So the rancor big fig, paint that up. You're probably not far off here. What's the neck of a rancor looks like? Because it feels like it has a stubby neck. It's not as stubby as you think. The head just drops down. It's like the torso of a Lego mech. And it's got a towel. Right? Right, that is a towel. Huh. I'm assuming that's a towel. Hopefully. Tauntaun horns. I feel like I'm saying that wrong every time I say it. But there's something satisfying about it. Tauntaun horns. Horns of a Tauntaun. Which I've got from the Microfighter. And I have a second Luke and second horns. I think they're for the Advent. And I got 1 spare with a Microfighter and then another 1 spare with the Advent. So I've got enough to do these 2 on this character and to do 2 Tauntauns for the Mando Super Bowl advert. I know technically there were 4 Tauntauns, but for a display piece, especially with a Microfighter, having 2 front and back, or 2 side to side, you can have it either way. That'll be the best, and these stick quite forward. Are you sure it's the tail of a rancor? Do we have confirmation on that? Maybe even switching these back. Look at that. With them on the front, they're all right, but they stick out over the eye. I forget how long these Tauntaun horns are. Not bad, but if we were to move them back 1, I think that's the perfect place for them. They can overlap the front a little bit so they don't seem too far out. They're still further enough out to be a bit scary and a bit disconnected from the rest of the build. If we had a corner element with holes in it, that is perfect. It'd place these up a little bit more, but that's not terrible. Also, if these brackets could just connect, they just connect, always have been, always will connect. They just exist in a connected state. Oh, I've got 2 of the same Tauntaun horns. I forgot you come with... Wait, if they have lefts and rights, does that mean I didn't get any spares with the advent calendar and I just got the spares in the Microfighter set? It's a shame there's a stud behind the front of the horn. Yeah. We don't need that stud. I guess we don't need this stud at the tip of the horn because we could just use a 1x1. It wouldn't be as secure. The tip also sticks out a little bit because it does grow out of the top of the head. So we've got it growing from around here and then sticking out. Same thing if we added a 1x2 there though. The horn, oh, what if we did that? What if we added a 1x2 on top and had the horn stick out like this? There's not as much of an angle to them. What do we think? This is option A with the horn sticking out the side along the studs. And option B, you know what, the arms can stay off. Option B is having it out the top and then we'd have a slope down the side, maybe even double up the slope to fill in both sides of the head. Let me end the Darksaber 1 with the Dark Saber versus Van Braces and Jetpack. Let me end that. Oh, third option, use a 1x1 stud with a 1x1 plate in the front of the horn. A 1x1. So the 1x1, let me get one of those in dark tan if we have, oh, I've just realized they're in the wrong drawer. Dark tan is a color that Lego have made, but it doesn't mean I own a lot of them. I do, however, own enough needed for this build. Something like that, but across, use a 1x1 stud with a 1x1 plate in the front of the horn. So is that just a regular 1x1 plate? Or is that a maybe like a tile so we get rid of the bump? Or are we getting rid of the hole in it? Oh, what if... So the corner element still wouldn't work as much. 1x1 tile. Okay. Maybe we can try a thicker slope as well. Let me try it on this side. Something like this, so that it angles down and the head pulls out. And then we've got the 1x1, because that mirrors the slope that we've got on the other side. We've got this 2x2 slope, and we've got a similar slope down here. Or does this stick out too far? Is that about how we had the horn at first? Because of the slope, it stays away. But is this too close? Because now we've hidden the tip. And then we'll put the hair back on top. Get a little bit of hair that we can. Maybe a second one of these. Maybe a second. No, that kind of gives off the A-wing vibes again. Let's not go back there. Let me see if I've got any other slopes, because I do still need the regular slope for the other side. In dark tan, I've put so many of them away. There we go, and one of these corner tiles maybe. Nope, other sides. Eeny, meeny, miny. I've got so many odd corner tiles in here. So many slopes that go the exact same way. Oh, no, that's the same way. I might not have one of these slope segments that works on the back. We've got different colors. We've got darker. I think darker would have the horn stand out. Maybe we just go with a 1x1 tile. Let's have a 2x2. Oh no, I'm spilling them everywhere. This is what happens when I don't empty my tray. So many other trays I could use. Ah. So 1x1 tile, and that finishes off the head, right? We could also use some of these newer flatter pieces, because they wouldn't stick out as much if we could get around the brackets. Because the brackets are keeping the whole head together. They really are keeping the entire thing together. There's no way. Could we use a 1x2 tile? Just a regular? No, that's very snake-like. That's not bad. Nah. We'll go with a regular tile, because I like the disjointedness of... There is a gap there. There is some sort of jump is made right about here. You've got like the jaw sticking out with these 1x2 slopes on the side, and they don't... It's not a gradual slope. It's very much just dips in right where the neck joint is, probably around about there. It goes in and then comes out for the jaw. So we'll replace that with a 1x1 tile. Put these back again. We will see you later. And I know I have a ton of 1x1s because I ordered a bunch from Lego directly for the Yavin display. Oh, 2x2s as well off the pick and build in store. Not a single 1x1 in sight. I blame Yavin. We have used a lot of them for Yavin. Ooh, do we have 1x1s? Or are we going to have to add a little bit of green in there? We might have gone through them all for Yavin. Maybe I don't have as many. That and Mos Eisley as well. Probably got a few of them from UCS Cantina. We've got another tub to search through though. Let's pour that out. No, nothing. Well, just a ton of 1x6s and 2x2s, both off the Pick and Build in Lego stores. And there's no sort of wedge piece or element that spans 2 studs and has a hole in it. Lego takes decades to ship. Right now, Lego is still facing problems since Christmas. I did log the feedback for the A-Wing. After building the A-Wing, we come into an issue where the rounded quarter tiles or the slopes on the bottom weren't able to mesh with the rest of the build. And I did log that with Lego, and I got an email back saying due to, it was something about busy time of year and they're taking longer to respond. I don't know if they've kept that up for Christmas or they're genuinely just having troubles. Got a bit of your order, but the rest are coming from Denmark. Maybe there's some shipping issues because of what's going on at the minute. I mean, just generally shipping's costing more, so maybe they're not paying the most expensive rates. We could... Ooh. Do we want to hide this in the middle? If we use a rounded off plate, no, we wouldn't be able to fit the slope on it as well. I think we're going to have to go with these 1x2s for now. That 1x1 stud and a 1x1 tile is the perfect combo. But at least we've got a little bit of roundedness on the front. Because I don't have any tiles available. We might think of another piece as well as we go. So first off, I'm going to break this apart again and try and get a 2x3 in dark tan. I don't think I'll be covering up as much of this. We've got the belt coming around the back and then maybe building up for the shoulders. If we're building up for the shoulders, maybe I use a 2x4 in dark tan. Maybe. And then I'd need to flatten off this back bit. Oh, not dark tan. No, not dark tan. We want to use this orangey colour, don't we? So what colours do we have slopes of? And I'm going to use that to build the rest of the poncho that this guy's wearing. Look, this is a nice one. That's a dark orange, which goes well. It's the same colour as the hair. I think that's true on the figurine. And maybe on the bottom too? No, we want something more triangular. We'll get away with a plate because of the belt. But we also need a 2x4 in dark orange. Or a 1x2 plate. Notice we've got a few of these tan ones. Keep them for some of the other joints. Maybe an elbow or a knee. We'll need those. There'll be something. Always come in handy to keep a few elements on standby. The belt's just going to go around. Pretty round element. Could add an extra stud there to beef out the front, which I might do. Don't need to add any weapons clips on the side though. Could you imagine this guy with a blaster? How they don't need a blaster. They just munch the blaster like it's a rancor chewing a bone and get on with it. Wouldn't be hanging around for any of that. Which one's orange? That's or dark tan, isn't it? No, because we want the body of this to be orange. Dark orange. Might need to plate that one out. Hello there, Grey Snow Blizzard. Welcome. As you can see, this is the Mantellian Savrip. If I keep saying it, I will eventually be able to perfect the name. And we're building it using all of these different Lego pieces. So we can build the back up. Maybe even get a ring around the shoulders. If we've got enough dark orange plates, that would look really nice. But my dark orange parts are looking A little low at the minute. Don't have a ton of them. Do have a 1x2 though. Oh, 1x2's handy because I said that would be perfect for the back here. So that's secured in the neck and also has kind of bled out to it. So we can still angle the neck back and get it flush with it. But that's angled a bit further forward. We've got the brown belt, which will stick in the same as the inverted plate. Nothing inverted about this except for the fact we're sticking it on the back. But because it has holes in the back, I think this will work. I think this will work. Almost as good as a base plate. It's not perfect. It's not, and I want it to be perfect. It's either that or get in a 1x4 throughout the back. Or we could add some jumpers. I know we have a few of those in different colours. We could add a jumper and a little tile to hide that away. We got some of these for the top half. Also, a cheese slope would go a long way to flushing out this brown. If we're adding another stud, yeah, I am going to keep one of these here, and that will fall in around the waistline. And we need a cheese slope of the same colour, and then a tile, maybe a slope, another slope. We wanted something with a point. What do we have that's pointy that looks like the corner of this? If we have two of those side slopes, we would have hit the jackpot with that. Or we could also add a brown bracket on top with a cheese slope, depending on which way you want to build the thing out. That's a bit of 3D printer filament. Oh, it was a hair. A brown 1x1. Hopefully it's not a brittle brown one. Any of these snapping, we don't want that. No thank you. Keep these all in one piece for as long as we can, because a lot of my parts were bought during that brittle brown era. We just don't want them to snap. Hold yourself together. And a Nexo shield, is that not just the perfect element? Finding it very difficult to save for a car. Oh, more Lego horse knights. Oh, knights are difficult. I know knights are difficult to resist. It's like army building, but if Lego didn't make stormtroopers all the time, or clone troopers. Because you never know when the next opportunity, the next best opportunity is going to be. You must resist. Resist the pull from the Lego side. If we have a shield like this, I don't think we do. If we had one in the right colour, that would have been perfect, because it's that right shape to fall off, and then we'd add some sand green under, some dark tan underneath. So slope it is. Slope it is. Squeeze a 2x2 in there as well, in case it is visible. And I should do that to all the 2x4s. Turn them dark tan, so that it looks like the skin of this creature, rather than just a robot on the inside. FNAF meets Star Wars. It helps that they're still partially out of stock in Australia. Oh, it does help when the Lego that you want isn't available. Wish they would make Lego Castle Battle Packs. I like how Lego advertise that, oh, these castle figures are so cheap to buy online, and yet most of the parts cost like £3. It's like, oh yes, army build them on our website. Let's take a look. If you don't know this, Lego don't advertise it, but they do have create a minifigure. Oh, saying that, is this still only in the UK? I think they've expanded this to Europe and America, mostly North America. I don't know if this is available, and I know especially in North America the parts aren't the same now, but they have a few pirates. Oh, have a few medieval knights, not pirates. They do have a few pirates as well. Pieces unavailable. What pieces? Oh, the helmet. See, look at that. £2.61 without the helmet. These guys are like £5 a piece otherwise. I think the helmet is the big draw. I was taking a look at some of the knights that I've got built. We've actually got knights that represent me and my partner. We've added our own faces to them. I got the wolf pack because Star Wars, awesome. Yes, please. Why not? And then Tinks has the Falcon, because birds, cool, and this one came with a Falcon. And the Wolfpack is on here. These are both CMFs, but the Wolfpack have come onto Lego.com. And considering the CMFs were $350 at the time, okay, these aren't bad. They don't come with the detail, no arm printing, no leg printing, and this torso is new as well. It was for one of the designer program sets, I think. But still, it's almost the same price as the CMF with CMF quality. It's just not the same ordering this. And then you have to order like £50 worth, otherwise you're paying delivery. Yeah, it's on the US, but you can't do that. Only put prints on torsos. Oh, it's like the in-store one, but it's not as good. Australia's having trouble. Trillions of spiders and no Lego. If spiders knew how to make minifigures, their stock would be crazy. Battle packs would go such a long way. I mean, you're already charging £5 for a Lion Knight, £3 for a Wolf pack. What is like £15? Give them maybe one horse each and a little settlement or some sort of cart, something like that. Charge £15–20. People would eat them up to fill the millions of castles that have been on the shelves for the last how many decades. It's a tale as old as Lego. Castle Knights. Yeah, create a minifigure. Where is the one with the prince? I thought we had that. We had that in the UK. Around Christmas time and start of the year. We also had the print one. But looks like they've also whittled down their available minifigures. A lot of medieval figures, a lot of medieval themed figures. Even got a little Viking up here. Nice printed Milner. And a few nice prints here. A few different shields as well. But £4.82. The headwear is how much? You had to scroll down for it. Only 77p. Is it the accessory that... No. The accessory isn't... Oh. This accessory. This shield. £2. Let's swap this for the other shield. What looks better? Guess that matches with a torso. There you go. £3.30. Is there a better helmet as well? I love that one from Ninjago the Mask. Oh, that's the Viking one. I thought that was the unavailable one. Is there a better helmet than the Thanos helmet? I don't think so. Oh, this one's quite cool. Look at that. I love that helmet. That's the helmet I want to give to the other figs that I just showed off. You could also give it hair. Oh, that one's a good one. Oh, this helmet or this helmet? I think that screams more knights. That one's the unavailable one, isn't it? Does it tell us if they're unavailable? $279. Oh, it is available. So what was unavailable? Because that looks like the helmet. The chrome version is unavailable. There you go, $279. In the UK, I know that's kind of flaunting it for everyone else worldwide, but still, $279. $279, you'd have to order 18 of these to meet free delivery. That's not bad. That's a few battle packs, and that's cheaper than Lego would sell them. I think it's roughly the same on, yeah, so the Pick-a-Brick online is the exact same feature as this. This just adds minifigures, and you don't have to include the swords and shields if you don't want them. You can replace them, get rid of them. All you're required is one leg, one torso, one head per figure, and it limits it at like 50 odd figures. I think there's also a limit on Pick-a-Brick for some of the minifigure parts, but I think it's a great service for the ease of use for creating a minifigure. It's quite nice to have it seen that way. The shields and torso would be the most expensive. Surprising how expensive some of the parts, some of the head accessories, some of the helmets. The prices shoot up fast on Lego, on the official Lego.com site. I know the aftermarket also have some pricey builds, but even Lego aren't selling them too cheaply. They can't be undervaluing their pieces. Otherwise, who would be collecting them? Which is true. If they were too cheap, everyone would have them and they wouldn't be special. That's why Lego are trying to slow down the castles that come into the designer program, so that they're still very much appreciated when they come around, which is fair enough. Can't fault them for trying. Oh wait, that's meant to slide in here, and I filled up the gap. That's why it fits in. No, this isn't. What? 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 What have I? What have I? Oh, this is meant to go in. Is it? I can't remember how this was put together anymore. There we go. That's more like it. Now this can fly on the top. Yes, we're getting somewhere. We need a tile to hold these in, preferably something that would stick. There's a bit of build-up of material. There's a little build-up of material in that middle, so we could get away with adding another slope there. But dark orange is not a colour that I feel I have a lot of, so these slopes are going to be few and far in between. We got some more nougaty ones, but again, that dark orange colour is such a pain to find. Oh, dark orange. We need a dark orange Star Wars ship, pronto. Or an official set of the Mantellian Savrip. Either one. I want a battle pack that comes with a small catapult. Oh, I tell you what, small catapult would be awesome, because I'd be interested in that for Endor. We need a brick-built catapult. That'd be awesome. 2 Lion Knights fully kitted out, a Falcon Knight, and a Falcon Knight horse. Yeah, I think double the Falcon Knight. As long as you've got 2 of each knight, then kids can play with it. It's a nice battle pack. People will want more of one knight than the other. Lion Knights being one of the most popular factions in the entire history, I think, of the medieval lines. Not that there is a medieval line now, but there feels like there is. Subconsciously, there's a castle theme. Boom, Lego. Are you saying you would design that set for free? Because if so, I think Lego would hire you based on that. If they don't have to pay you, I think most people would take a free set to design it. They still have to do all the work of manufacturing them. To be fair to the Bricklink Designer Program, they're a lot limited in production. Oh yeah. Wow, look at all that grey. That was I got lied to with the initial green and dark orange. That is a lot of grey. Whoa. Saves sifting through the whole thing. I think the Bricklink Designer Program have just restricted even further how many you can order. It used to be 5. You used to be able to buy 5 of them, and now you can only buy 2, which I don't know if that was just for... Was it for the last run or the run before? I think it was the last one. And I'm not sure if there are any castles in that. I've not been keeping too close. I've not been looking too closely into it. But 20th of March, coming up, 10 days time, they're going to announce the next lot. The 5 that will be made into... Well, they won't be made into Lego sets straight away. They go through to a pre-order, and you have to order so many of them for them to be made. To date, I don't know one set that hasn't made it past that pre-order though. It's an almost guarantee. We got these 2. They would work for the belly, and either a cheese slope breaking out for the neck, or just a flat off tile. But we want something angled. Something angled, something pointy. Oh, yes. Is that dark orange? It is dark orange. Where's your partner? Where's your partner? You're there. Yes. No, it's the same side. It's the same side. Ah. Why are they doing this? It's the opposite side as well to the tan. How? How is that the case? Why have I got dark orange and dark tan the opposite side of each other? Why? Why is that possible? I could brown it off. That's not the same. Maybe I include one of each. Maybe I include one of each of them, and at least that gives it some shape, and then we can still get the rounded off top. We just need to get a 1x2 tile. And then find something else that could fit. 1 armored knight, 1 foot soldier each. Yeah, I like the idea of that. Managed to get all the parts for your TIE Bomber mod. Finished modding it yesterday. Nice one. Yeah, the TIE Bomber, great set. Can't wait to build Vader's TIE. Gonna be building, oh, that'll probably be the next one. Looking at going live Thursday to build that one. There we go. A little bit of material folded in. We do get that little reveal of grey. An ingot would be the perfect piece. I know we don't have an ingot in dark orange. I know for a fact we do not have a we do not have an ingot in dark orange. We don't have any more slopes in dark orange. The only piece I could go for is either one of these 1x2 power miners slopes or a cheese slope. And I like the cheese slope giving it a collar because you can see the difference between the creature and the costume. Although the creature is the costume, well, the creature's a puppet, not even a costume. Now we've got the torso. Just need to cover the bum. Find something to cover the bum, something to slope it off, maybe a rounded off plate. Something that probably is a bit squarer out the back. It comes out towards the side. So a 2x2, an inverted plate would be legendary here. That's the perfect piece, but, oh, inverted tile, not an inverted plate. But not only do I not remember, are they in the tile drawer? Or are they in the 2x2 drawer? Or are they in the plate drawer even? Maybe they're in this bomb drawer down here. They're not in the plate drawer. Yes, here they are. We have tan, we have brown, we have grey. We do have a nougaty inverted tile, which I think would get away with for the bum. That's going to be where the material's worn down the most. Okay. We don't have one in 1x2, do we? Nope, definitely not one in 1x2. Could have a battle pack with 2 wolf knights, 2 horse knights, and a small wheat field. Well, small wheat field, you could go with like a 2x4 plate. A few bits of wheat sticking up. Maybe have 2 of them because it's so small. And then people can order the parts to make it as big as they want. If you're ordering more battle packs, you're going to grow your wheat field. And also, a lot of wheat fields are just going to be those 1x6 bars with a Technic pin on the end. They need to make a $200 castle, 150 and 30 and 20. Bring back a castle theme. I think if they bring... Lego now is different to what Lego was. Lego used to be... They come out with an idea, they release 1 million sets and milk it until people aren't interested. Power Miners went through 2-3 years, people lost interest. Nexo Knight, similar thing. Ninjago, people have kept on. People have been interested because every year was something different. But for Castle, I think release all those sets today. Give it 2-3 years. Then release a wave for a different Castle faction. So say we're doing Lion Knights and Wolfpack or Falcons. Maybe all 3 of them, mix them in. 3 years time, do 3 different factions. Then 3 years after that, go back to the originals. And then people can build armies of both sides, and especially mock builders. You'd be working on a display and then years later they release a different faction. Now you've got a evil faction. You build another display to oppose that. Maybe they burn down the Lion Knight's castle. And then right then you've got even more Lion Knight sets. So they can rebuild and they can go on the offensive again. Story building would be amazing with it. But also you're feeding the Castle fans. Lego know that Castle isn't popular enough to get sets yearly. So why aren't they doing sets bi-yearly or tri-yearly? Or they're not even trying. They're not even trying. Tri-yearly. I think that's 3 times a year. I meant to say every 3rd year. You know what I mean. You know that. get rid of the dark grey. Maybe just bring out the dark tan. Could we get a slope on the side here? Because I saw we had more 1x2s. These 1x4s are definitely not going to be useful whatsoever, but I might grab the 1x2, see how many we can find, and bring them all out, because we're going to use 2 just on the thighs. Might need them for the arms as well. Oh, of course, we only have 4. 2 for the legs, 2 for the arms. That'll do. We'll make it work. That'll be all right. And also, oh! That's another dark orange slope. Did I miss any of them? I don't think so. We've just got the one lone dark orange slope. Well, it's not needed. I just think it's going to look better up on this torso rather than having that little grey bit revealed. So I'm just going to swap that out and leave this lonely corner slope back in the drawer. That looks a little better. We're recovering all, not letting any studs slip. If they give you 5 sets of your choice, you'll design them all. Is that the 5 sets you're designing, or is that 5 sets including 5 UCS Death Stars? I think you're going to have to make it generic enough that you can buy 5 UCS Death Stars, sell them, and buy even more castle sets. Find a loophole in your own contract. You just end up buying 5 UCS Death Stars, selling them for, like, invest in them, selling them for a profit, buying the next biggest set at that time, invest in them, selling them for a profit. Oh, how thick do these want to go out? I like the legs being angled. I like them at that off angle, maybe build them out a bit at the bottom. And also I've swapped out the corner plates for a dark tan. We can't do much about these on the side. Actually, we could plate them up if I had some sort of slope or ingot, but I'm not too fussed about the ball joints showing. Like I say, at this size, we're going to have ball joints showing. I'd rather get the posability over the neatness of them being hidden. And also, like we did with, well, like we said about with Simba, we can paint over them in dark tan. It's a fairly easy color to match, the dark tan is, so I can always go over, paint them a little bit, and get it looking snazzy when we reveal it after we've got it built. Always thought they should have Classic Space Castle and Pirates in rotation. It does seem like they almost do. They just don't set it up as well. Because Classic Space, if I were to type in space, we've got a few sets that have recently been available, still available. Upscaled Classic Space Astronaut. These don't count, they're not Classic Space. There was also the Blacktron Rover not too long ago. We've got some tags from Classic Space as well. Not sets, not minifigures, but the minis have been available. We've got so many CMFs with Classic Space, and not a lot right now, I have to admit. Something big has to be coming for space. But Pirates is even better. If you're a Pirates fan, first off, Black Pearl, amazing. The Going Merry, kind of want to pick this one up. I'm eyeing it up. I'm looking out for a really good sale, and I might swoop in on that. We've got a few accessories. We recently had like a creator pirate ship, a smaller and a bigger one. Minecraft piracy. Pirates fit into so many different themes that Eldorado Fortress. A lot of these are idea sets or icons. This one is an icon set. I feel like icons is almost an excuse to put out a ton of classic Lego sets, because modulars. Icons is a lot of theme stuff. Lord of the Rings, Stranger Things, F1 that don't have their own themes. Stranger Things actually does have its own theme, and Lord of the Rings should do. Can't believe they haven't just brought that back for a page. F1 should have its own theme. They've got enough sets. It's for these one-offs like Hail Mary, the Golden Retriever, but some of these aren't themed. Some of these are only iconic because they're naturally beautiful, like that bird and some of the display pieces. Retro radio looks great on a shelf. But some of these just relate to classic space pirates or the knights, and it's obvious. It's obvious when they do. I think most of those have shifted over into ideas now that people have realized they can design their own sets. But definitely F1 needs its own theme, doesn't it? Don't want the UCS Death Star. Don't want 5 UCS Death Stars. You don't have the room. Yet even storing the boxes is going to be a pain in the bum. Trying to find the space for that. I couldn't imagine it. How do we slope? How do we slope off the kneecaps? Because we want these to drop down. But we also... What if we flip them around? Because we've got some inverted slopes. And then we use these. Oh, I was hoping the studs would press into the knees a little bit. But I think they do it too much. I think they press in too closely. We don't want to ruin the knees of this thing. If anything, we could use a jumper in there and have a... For the knee, a rounded element wouldn't look too bad. These legs need some sort of... Not even a tile. The legs are very bumpy. The legs of this creature are very bumpy, so studs out. Similar to what we were doing with the neck, and we only got 2 studs on either side because we told the rest off. We want to get as many studs as we can. And the knees... See, this is 4 meters when the knees are bent. Oh, what if we have a 2x2 plate on top? We could bracket up the side. But then when the knee's bent, we're opening up the ball joint. If we have tan door rails, that would cover up the most without it looking too weird. Black Pearl's so much money. It is. It's such a good set, but they're so expensive. I think every expensive set needs a smaller version. Like Funko. Funko have their Bitty Pops. So many times I've almost picked up the Going Merry Bitty Pop because I'm thinking, that's like £5–10. I think it's a £5. I think that's £5 for a little Going Merry and a Monkey D. Luffy figure. If that was a microfighter, I'd pick it up. I'd pick it up day one. And imagine having all those microfighters lined up. Yeah, that's better. That's better for the kneecap. Maybe a slope would have been perfect, but we don't have enough slopes to give that a go. Although, if we get some brackets on the side, we would have the space to then add a taller element. Maybe not even underneath the entire thing. I want to get some brackets underneath the side here. Don't want them to be grey. Got some dark orange. There's a band around the left hand, so I'll keep these dark orange ones aside for that. That'll be an easy way of doing it. But we don't have any dark tan. We only have grey ones. Light bluish grey can be hidden, especially if we've got like 1x2s up the side, and then we've got another 2x2 plate that folds up on top of the door rail. I don't know if you can see that properly. It folds up on top of the door rail and hides a lot more of the ball joint. We could even get, could we get, no, I don't think we can get any other element in there, but a 1x2 on the sides, a slope probably would look best. The kneecap, almost the ball joint, should stick out this way. What if we flip this around? That wouldn't work, would it? No, that wouldn't work. But that does look better, especially if we had a slope. If we had a slope, that would look perfect. Covers most of the knee. Again, that slope is just not going to work with the element. What if we add the plate to the top and add a jumper to the front? Because the jumper, the knee itself isn't as bumpy, so we don't want as many studs there. And we're not able to lift it all the way up, but we're able still to pose it quite a bit on the ball joint. and most angles, in fact, cover up. Look at that angle that we've got. That's nice. We just need a bracket to cover this bit up and another rounded off dark tan. We need to get some rounded dark tan plates, tiles, just some round dark tan elements out here so that we know what we've got, what we can do, and what I shouldn't be leaving space for. Because we've got no dark tan tiles, but we do have dark tan jumpers and dark tan plates. This is the bumpy part of the leg. So dark tan plates would give us the most studs. As many studs as we can get, I want. Dark tan, not brown, not tan. You're telling me I got no dark tan plates. They're colours, and the last is black and grey. Unless there's some dark tan hidden underneath. No. So round dark tan jumpers we've got. We'll go with that. Worked for 4 hours washing windows the other day and still don't have the money for the black pearl. That's, yeah, that can be, Lego prices are disheartening. When you work so much and then you're like, oh, you still can't get this massive set, or you can only get this massive set. They need to have cheap, and that's the reason Lego do it, so that you spend your money on the massive set and then you're spending your money on another massive set. Lego have little consideration for cheaper sets. The amount of things they've tried, and it isn't for themes like Star Wars. I think the reason it goes overlooked is because a lot of fans, a lot of Star Wars fans especially, will complain about the high prices for something like Star Wars. Star Wars have had so many battle packs, so many minifigure accessory packs, which they sold a bit too well. That's probably why we're not getting any of them again. The contrast of the Clone one never being in stock and the Hoth one nearly always being in stock is never gonna not be funny. The fact that there was an abundance of one. It was clear we wanted clone troopers. Lego have given us a load more clone troopers over the years. Mainly phase 2. I wouldn't mind phase 1, but I still think they're trying to restock the accessory pack, the minifigure pack of those. They're still behind on shipping those. Hopefully not. Hopefully you've all got the ones you've ordered. As soon as summer comes, yeah, I suppose lots of people will want their windows washed more in the summer. Less of a thing people look at in the winter, which goes underlooked, overlooked is what I'm trying to say. It's a surprise how few people keep their windows clean in the winter, because if they did, it'd be less of a task to do in the summer. But I suppose you could probably charge a little more on the state of the property. Is this also... Ooh, we've got some orangey bits wrapped around the legs. Ah, okay. Do we have any... I want to say dark orange grills. We'll see if I have any more dark orange grills, and if not, what I'll do is probably switch to like tan or gold. Gold would look good. We'll see if I can contain this. Was that? No, that was dark red. Gold would look really good though. We're making a Lego cocktail. See a gold one in here? Let me grab that in case we do decide to go with it. Flaunting off its golden chains. There was an orange, there's a few more gold. We'll take that. But no dark orange. Not looking good. Buy more ABS plastic. If Lego have shares in ABS plastic. Translucent blue. Oh wow. Oh, there were like 4 translucent blue ones. That's quite nice. I love seeing a translucent element, mainly in blue, that I never realized was a translucent element or a transparent element. Lego call them transparent elements, but they're definitely more translucent than transparent. I'm not going to be able to see most things through it just because of the plastic that it's made out of. And then get some golden chains on the leg. Still need something for the side, maybe a tile. And then because we've gone with gold, I'm going to add one golden plate. Does that exist? Does a gold plate exist? I know we've got golden tiles, but does a golden plate exist? Or even a golden jumper? Does a golden jumper... Oh, hello. A golden jumper does exist. How many do I have? Do I have 2? That's all I need. Nope, that's a nougat, that's a yellow. That's dark orange. That's medium orange. Wait, was that dark orange? Could have used that one. If you were to work back in, you'd be able to afford the Lego UCS Death Star. But that's probably without taxes, bills, half of the other stuff that go on top. Eventually you would be able to save up. I just think with Lego, I spend so much more. I spend more money quickly. I will. If something's cheap, I will be so much more likely to buy it. Whereas I wouldn't think about it as much. Lego need to captivate the audience of people that buy without thinking. I'm not encouraging it. I'm not trying to encourage it. Lego, don't pay attention to what I'm saying. But genuinely, I would spend more money if Lego sets were a lot cheaper. Because I'd be buying so many more of them. And I think I'd look elsewhere for purchases as well. 2 cheese slopes, but how big do we want these feet to be? These jumpers aren't as strong as I thought. No problem, have fun. Thanks for hanging. Oh, yes. Yeah, I suppose that is a problem for washing windows in the winter. You don't want it freezing. That's a whole mess you don't want to clean up. Not as secure as I'd hoped, but it's also not as insecure as I thought it would be. And then, did I have 2? Yes. Need more plates though to go underneath them. Anything to go back here? Don't think so. And this the rounded one. Did we get our rounded off? Yeah, we got our rounded off pieces. Might need them for the arms, but that's a problem for the arms, I guess. What we need now is more dark tan plates. One more for now to finish off the back of the legs. I say to finish off. No, I want to add at least one more plate behind it and see if we can work out a stronger element for that foot. Maybe a bracket. Maybe a bracket, because we can then get a slope on the outside. I don't think sloping off the inside is going to look too good. So get some of these dark grey brackets and a 1x1, which is what in here? No, they're 1x2s. So this will have the 1x1. Let's try and clear the brackets away. We'll need more of those though. At this point, I don't think we're ever going to stop needing these brackets. Brackets and ball joints. That's the core for a minifigure scale monster creature Star Wars character. Oh, didn't we already use like most of these on Yavin as well? We got 2. I thought we just had 1. That would be an issue, but 2 we can work with. 2 we can work with, and oh, there's a third one. It's a good thing I bought the gold out by 1. I might even bring the gold out another 1 so that I'm not covering it too much. But then 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the bracket doesn't support. The bracket doesn't support. How far forward is this foot going to be? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I could put the bracket in front of the foot. That way it's supporting the toes and it's not going to end up bending. Something like that. Add the bracket to the front of the foot. And then once you've got the ingot, not the ingot, the gold jumper, then the toes aren't able to turn around because the bracket locks it in place. And we've got the 2 cheese slopes at the front and the double one on the side. 2 on the front, 1 on the side. Dark tan, I know I've got a few of those. We've been using a lot of dark tan recently. Happy to have enough parts for Yavin and a dark tan creature and everything else dark tan that I'm yet to part out. Which is a lot. Which is a lot. Already this is looking great without the arms. If your mock looks good without arms, do you add arms? Not what I was going to say. Do we just leave this armless? Maybe this is post-Mando fight. The arms have been forcefully removed. No, if it looks good without arms, though, it's a good sign that it's going to look even better with arms. Let's get these back away. Never going to build anything without my tray again. In fact, once I end this stream tonight, I'm probably going to... First thing I'm going to do is go and clear that tray so that it's ready for the next one. For Vader, I'm going to need it just to be able to get those parts in and out. In and out of the drawers. So bracket 1 by 1, add in the door rail to conceal most of the ball joint. Very visible from the side, but again, you can paint that up. And then the golden 1 by 2 doesn't have to be a jumper. And the toes on top with the cheese slopes. Maybe a bracket the other side. Is the inner toe any bigger or smaller than the outer toe? They look about the same from my screen. But the inner toe being the smaller of the two from a Lego point of view, the building point of view, the action figure point of view makes it easier to position around. Could use the ball bar pieces, yeah. For Aaron's crossbow, there's crossbow bolts. There's crossbow bolts. Oh, yeah. That'll go great in a little medieval castle set. There you go. The cheese slope just bulks out the foot, makes it as thick as we can, which is what we're going for here. We're trying to get it as thick as we can. And the bracket cheese slope, easy combo, works every time. Can't fault it. I think with the buildable characters, a lot of the feet are... They're not oversimplified, because I think Lego should oversimplify them. They're complicated a bit too much. And it makes the feet look less like feet and more like robot feet. You want a little bit of that asymmetry, maybe one side bigger, and that's natural support. There's not going to be that support on the inside of the foot because that's what the other leg's for. This leg is to stop it falling to the right. This leg is to stop it falling to the left or vice versa. And sometimes they're built a bit too much like machines. So does it stand? No, not really. The arms are going to add a lot of front weight. So does it fall backwards or does it fall side to side? It seems to fall backwards. So let's get some of that weight on the arms. We've already got a band here. We didn't decide what we were going to do for... We didn't decide what we were going to do for the hand. Because I've got this wrist here, but we've got 3 fingers, which are very claw-like. Wow, this thing is terrifying. We didn't add teeth as well. We need to remember teeth. We need some way of connecting this. Whoa, the shoulders are the easiest part because we've saved some slopes for those. Wish we could cover the ball joints. I think that's just not going to happen. The cheese slopes are the best deal at concealing them. Oh wow, already, look at that. It looks terrifying, but it also looks so good with the little details. This turned out a lot better than the little mechs we made, or that I made in the first making Mando and Grogu. This doesn't look like a snake-headed droideka anymore. This is starting to look like what it is we're trying to build. Side by side, this thing would go crazy. forgot what the piece is called. Yeah, I think, isn't dark bluish grey the only colour they come in? Is there another? I think it's only dark bluish grey. I think it is. There might be another colour. I'm not used to another colour, so dark bluish grey makes sense. Did that web page just flicker? That might have been on my end. Slopes. Everything always comes back down to slopes. Cheese slopes would work. I want to secure this arm in. Wait. Why is the arm already so secure? What's going on there? That arm shouldn't be as secure as it already is. I know better than to question it. If it's secure, we'll let it be. Let's get that. Oh, the tile. Yes, that tile. Could use a jumper and then get a tile off to the side. We could... We're also going to need something to cover this... It's past the elbow. It's this wait, if it's a forearm, shouldn't that have the band on it? It should, shouldn't it? That should have the band on it. And then we've got the hand. I do want a wrist on the hand. We could get some fingers on it, but then the forearm's going to look out of place if we have the wrist separate. Oh. Unless, well, we want the hands going in. Let's add a 1x2 on the... Oh, a dark orange 1x2 with the bars coming out the side. This piece, perfect. I think they also come in transparent green and transparent orange. Oh, the new Dubak eyes were dark tan. They would work well for eyes for this. I can't believe the Dubak eyes are on a different coloured tile and they haven't just gone with the full eyes. Yeah, it looks better the way they've done it. But I do think they should reuse... If they don't reuse the eyes for the Mudhorn, they're just wasting money at that point. I think designers need to have a medium which they can talk through. It was really nice seeing some of the Smart Play designers come out and talk about it, because that's one thing that I said about the Smart Play sets, that it feels like there was a little bit of communication with it. There's still a few issues with them, a bit like minor inconsistencies, but as a whole it does seem like there's someone that overlooked the entire project. And if you remember, what's his name, the designer that worked on Ahsoka's Eater, I want to say it was Blair Archer, but I don't know that for sure. I saw a post from him that he dabbled in a few of them. The only set that he didn't contribute to at all was Luke's Land Speeder. He did most of the Cantina, and he also worked in the other 6 sets as one designer crossing over. That's nice to hear from a fan, because that shows that designers are contributing to each other, they're talking. I still don't feel like there's a medium that they can just do that in. Like if someone was to build a set, I think it goes to Lego, it gets signed off, it gets checked away. There's no process in place. There might be. I don't work for Lego, I've never worked for Lego, but I've also never heard anyone talk about it. And this is something that I think people would be talking about. A medium where designers can talk about other sets and can give a bit of feedback, and it's mandatory feedback that has to be done. Maybe if it's mandatory, then the designers don't want to do it, or they rush the process and there are other problems that can arise. But a lot of these designers love the job they do. And I think by having that process in the middle of a design of any set being designed, it just helps to point out little problems before they get to shelf, like with the A-Wing. The little problems that we've been having with it, they wouldn't be around if someone had they just reached them further, just reached them faster, reached them sooner, and been able to fix it before the set came out. So it would be nice to see more of that. I do think that, yeah, I do think we should be getting rid of that extra joint in the arm. I'm starting to think that having that little wrist and maybe tilting this forward a little bit is enough. We got the shoulder, but the arm is just so long. The arm's just so long. We can get away with an extra joint. Right, any tan brackets we can squeeze in here, because we want this to bulk out. We want this to bulk out a bit. Maybe even cap this off. If we do have a dark orange ingot after all of that, I'm going to be both happy and sad. Happy that I noticed it, sad I didn't realize it earlier. What about gold for the back end of the hat? We only have the one turn bar piece, the 1x2 with the bar sticking out. Only the one. Only the one. Maybe gold will work behind the orange. Maybe there's another bar element as well. Yeah, well, I guess gold is the closest color. We got a little bit of gold on the legs. Maybe there's a little gold hidden under here. But then for the other hand, I am going to be using dark tan. I don't want gold to distract too much. Also, on the other hand, we could... No, I'm going to keep it like this. We could turn it into a 2x3 and bridge the arm across. I'm going to keep it with the extra joint because this is for the wrist, so the hand can turn around. Important if he's holding Mando up here. We don't want the arm to be looking downwards. So it is important we have that wrist. And we can get some brackets top and bottom and tile it off. Maybe bring back some of those rounded off ones. The dewback eyes would have been a nice addition to the Bantha as well, in dark tan. Or they use nougat. I think nougat's too rare a colour. Maybe it would have been nicer in nougat as well. Or dark orange, was it? No, definitely nougat. Still working on... Yeah, it's definitely nougat. Still working on making it brown for the cantina that I'll be building. Make a nice little battle pack with a few Tuscans. Love to see that. And then brackets, maybe a tan 1x2. Ooh, because we've got the tan 1x2, we don't need it to be tan. Also, I don't know if there are any brackets that will go on top, so maybe we'll tile that off. Let's put some of these away first, so that I'm not missing parts in the morning. What do we got here? Door rails, brown plates. Definitely don't need no more of those. Any other plates? Dark tan might need. Won't need these. Imagine if this guy rolls. Reminds you of the Tatooine battle pack with the Tuscans and Jawas. We do need another one of them. Maybe not for Tatooine, because we've had that so not really recently, but we have had that. We could get another battle pack for another world. We've also seen like the Mandalorian battle pack. We would need something akin to that, but for aliens, for creatures. I can't think of what planet I'd prefer. Miss the days when Lego would release 4 battle packs in a year. It's nice having 4 battle packs available in a year, or slightly more. How many battle packs? How many battle packs are available right now? Battle packs, Star Wars battle packs, I should have specified. New Ninjago would come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not all clone and not all the same. So 6 battle packs we've got available right now that have come out over the last 3 years. We've got 2 remnant battle packs. And then we got the 501st, 332nd, Shock Trooper and Shinies, and 322nd, 327th, that one. So, or is that the 237th? Oh, I think it's 327th. But all phase 2, only 2 of these are at the cheaper point. One of them, quite a big battle pack. I think that one's pretty worth it. You can get it also at like £16 in the UK on sale. This one, a bit harder to swallow. That one's gone down to £20–25. You've also got the mech. I quite like the layout of battle packs that we've got at the minute. Especially with the bigger builds. I think this battle pack right here would have been perfect to give us some New Republic troops, some rebels, you know, some resistance fighters 4 Remnant Troopers, an ATRT and a base, because we've got that little brick built structure. We've got the ATRT for £35 and still, oh, there it is, coming out April 1st. For £40, for an extra fiver, we've literally got these big panels, and we're knocked down from 7 to 3 minifigures, because they do include Grogu on the box as a minifigure, and it's a new design, so Grogu will be taking up a spot. We've swapped out 4 minifigures for 4 panels around the side here. Maybe this is only 2 panels. I feel like it's 4. Maybe that is only 1 panel either side. Yeah, I don't know if there's a gap between that. We swapped out 4 minifigures for 2 panels. How does that work out? Where's the math? How do they work that out? I don't know. My math isn't lining up with Lego math. They're playing a different board game. Ooh, dark tan bracket though. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll do. Don't want to know if we have any more, because we probably don't. That's it for dark tan 1x2 brackets, and that might be it for dark tan brackets full stop. I'm hoping a bigger tub means we've got more luck. Ooh, yes, 1, 2. All right, that's the top side. Do we get any more, or does this creature have... We went with dark grey for the underside. I might be regretting that, and I might want to switch it up to a dark brown, because that seems more natural. Dark grey is, we don't have that piece in that right colour, so we've decided to use grey, the bog standard, instead. What if we switch it for brown? The same goes for the top of the neck as well. If we have the underside round toe in brown, we have a few greys, blues, colours. I think we should have 1 or 2 of these in brown, because I vaguely remember using this on an Endor speeder, but I guess we don't have it in brown. We can use a translucent clear. I think that's going to shine too much. Maybe even a black. Maybe even a black. That seems too dark. Or a tan. That's too light. Maybe grey is the best way of going. But from brown to grey, maybe we just leave it plain and we don't include any of these. We just let it hang. Surprise, Lego didn't really do much with Andor or the Bad Batch. Still waiting on that Bad Batch Season 3 set that we never got. That 3rd Bad Batch set. I will forever be waiting on that. And Andor. We got 1 set for each series. The U-Wing was a great pick. The Luthen ship would have been cool, just didn't get much screen time. And I also feel like Star Wars is to blame. How many times does a ship show up and the first thing I will say is, well, that's not sticking around for long. That's going to be blown up in a few minutes. Could even get a 2x2 plate underneath here to add a bit more. Add a bit more, and that keeps with the same colour. Because Star Wars blow up so many ships. That is just what Star Wars are known for. So I can't blame Lego completely for not wanting to come out with too many rare ships, just in case they're not going to sell well, because everyone's going to expect them to be blown up by the end of the show. Double stacking 2x2s, that gets the angle we want no matter what. And then we can fill out the neck a little more. Make sure that can't fold too far in. There we go. That seems to be the natural spot, but they've still got the movement of the head. Like that. And fills out the collar a little bit. Really liking that. We just got to add the brackets to the hand. These are going to lock in the arm so that it can rotate, but it can't like bend forward and back. Which is exactly what we want here. And also make sure that it's the right colour all the way around. Well, nearly all the way around. Are the arms detailed? Are the arms are smooth, so tiles is what we want. We know we've got a million of these 2x2s. That's playing perfectly, so we'll build those up, and the wrists go in a little bit. That shouldn't be a problem. In fact, I'm going to build this wrist out a little bit with an extra few plates and tiles. And then a slope would be perfect for the arm. I'd be lying if I said anything else. I want a slope for the arm. We don't have slopes for the arms. We're going to have to find something else. But before we finish off, does this stand with the new arms? Does this stand on its own? It stands. It stands lovely. Brackets can go away. We don't need to pile up any more on that hand. Otherwise, we won't see the thing. Unless we have a tan 1x1 in here somewhere. No. Yeah, didn't think so. Had to try that. Had to give it a little look. There's so much that LEGO aren't doing things for. Maul's got a mech right now, but that mech is nothing like what the show's going to entail. And they could revisit it later on. Chances are later on, they'll be doing some more Ahsoka sets. They've got a decent amount of sets. We got the T6. We got Shin's ship versus the E-Wing. We got the diorama build as well. An Imperial Noor Row-class shuttle. A Row-class shuttle needed an update. That would have been the perfect chance to give us a Row-class shuttle with some commandos, with a Commander Wolf updated, with regular Crosshair. It would have been a great chance to whack in regular Crosshair. I can't believe they didn't put Crosshair in with the with the Cad Bane ship. I know Hunter's a better fit. And they gave us Hunter, who has the same costume. They could have hidden Crosshair's helmet somewhere around the ship, because we don't have a Crosshair helmet. That's why I would have preferred Crosshair to Hunter. The Imperial Trooper Speeders or TIE Avenger. The TIE Avenger would have sold really well. They can always sell a TIE Fighter. And also for Solo, we got that little battle pack. Battle packs are the way to go for cheap troopers. Every time there's a new trooper, battle pack. Commandos battle pack. They could then do a special Delta Squadron battle pack only available at LEGO stores, which has the exact same battle pack, some exclusive prints. And then not Resistance Troopers. I'm creating my own thing here. We've got the what are they called? Hello there. Making a brick-built custom creature. We are the Mantellian Savrip. I've got it just on screen there. I don't remember that. I'd butcher the pronunciation. The red eyes. The red eyes are so menacing. We've just got to get the claws out and finish off the shoulders, which, if we don't have a slope, there's no knowing what we're going to end up using. Let's see if we've got any more. How many more of these 2x2s? Oh, we've got some without the stud and some with the stud. 3 without the stud, 3 with the stud. Make your guess as to what other piece is going to be found in here. Which one's going to be found first? I probably have 4 of both of them. But make your guess as to which one's going to be found first. I can see it. I can see the element, but I don't know. Oh, I've got another element on top. I think that gives away how smooth these are running together. It's the no studded one, so that's going to be the one that we use. Don't know if we'll keep the other one for the shoulders. Definitely won't fit on the hands. And it's nice because the arms are nice and smooth. Oh, saying that, we wanted regular plates, didn't we? We wanted regular plates. Yeah, let's go with regular plates. We wanted regular plates. I got so distracted. I ended up grabbing round plates. I don't think we need those. And we could also do with a cheese slope for one of the hands. We could do 1, 2, 3, 4. Easiest hole to find. And then one of these on the top, one of these on the bottom, maybe even one of these for the shoulder. They're built out like bricks, but this is a very squared off way of building. I don't want to add too many square parts to get them to look like a, you know, just a squared off Lego figure. We want them to have some sort of depth, and the shoulders need an extra cheese slope or something. So what I'm going to do, see if I can find some 1x1 cheese slopes and add them to these jumpers on top. So we're going to need some more plates as well, and see what they look like. Is this creature from the Mandalorian? Yes. So it's not a Rancor. It's very Rancor adjacent. I think if you get rid of the neck and open the jaw up a little bit, this is a Rancor. That's the similarity right there. They're the differences. The neck and the jaw. Once you fix those out, Rancor. It's easy as that. Instead of turning every set into a Falcon, we should turn every set into a Rancor. This is the Mantellian Savrip, is one of the chess pieces from A New Hope. So this was first seen in A New Hope, Chewie, 3PO, R2, and the whole Let the Wookiee Win, and they're bringing them back to life size. They were only little statues. If you've ever seen them, they're like this tall, similar to some of the pod racers that were made, very stop motion feature that they then hollow in, done really well. And these guys are massive. These guys are massive. They're gonna be champions for the real life chess. Yes, Mandalorian and Grogu, the one from the end of May. This isn't a sponsored video. Go see it or wait for it on Disney Plus, whatever you can afford. If you end up buying a lot of these sets, I wouldn't be surprised if you wait. I am planning on seeing it in the cinema though. So, you know, Disney, if you want to fly us out, let us know. I am more than happy to go to the premiere of the Mando and Grogu, especially the London one, especially the London premiere. Surprise, Lego hasn't done a brick built Rancor. At this point, the fact they didn't come out with a mech, the fact they didn't do a Rancor mech for Boba, the fact they didn't come out with a Malakili and a Rancor mech for when they did the oh, I don't like this jumper. Maybe the rounded one. Maybe some slope on the side. I don't know. This thing is built though. The fact they didn't come out with a Malakili and a Rancor for the Sail Barge to come alongside that. Nice bonus figure, and you get Jabba's Rancor. Like, when are they gonna do a Rancor? They have a big fig. Yes, they have a brittle brown big fig though. It's very fragile. Oh, these arms need to be rounded a little more. Although they're not terrible. They're not terrible for how built this character is, for how, like, muscly they are. These arms do a good job of showing that. And it still stands. That's what we want. At the end of the day, as long as it stands, it's good enough to display. Oh no. Had to say it. Had to say it. I don't know if I'll do a plate. Yeah, the wrist should be a little smaller. I was going to do a slope, cheese slope. Oh, hold on. We have a 40 ball joint socket back here. Oh, so it's standing up on one leg. That feels better. If it can stand up on one leg, it should be able to stand up on two legs perfectly fine. We had not a cracked, but just a looser ball socket. So this one should be a bit thicker. And then, oh wait, I've put this too forward. Undo, undo, undo. We also never came back with the inverted slope for this. So I've got to remember that. Yeah, that is nice and secured in there. Oops. Now let's see if this ball joint can stay. The fact I can pop ball joints in and out without popping much off. I say that just as it pops off. Yes, of course. Oh wait, I can put that in separate then. The Rancor pit. That was a two-parter with Jabba's palace. Don't think Lego are doing much molded Star Wars animals. Could you imagine the community's reaction to a molded Star Wars animal, given how Marvel have been with the Hulk big figs and that sort of thing? I think there would be uproar if they come out just for the price of the set for a molded animal. Got some more plates on the back there. Want to add something to secure this down. That was a pretty solid thonk. Wow. You can thonk it down, it ain't going nowhere. We got these slopes. They're too long. I don't remember seeing many more inverted tan slopes, but we'll give it a look. Maybe a little bit of brown on the back of the leg as well to secure it. I don't think we need much more secured on the top. It's mainly this bottom bit. So I'll add a under joint there just to secure the bracket down so it don't go flying off. And then same on the side. As we've added some brown, we might as well add it on the side. There you go. It's hidden out of the way. We got a brown bum. Probably should wipe that. Oh. No words for that. Feels like the last time they did one was for the Star Wars dogs for Solo were cool. And they don't need to make Star Wars specific molds. The treasure creature over in Dreams would make a great massive for any Tusken Raider battle pack. I want to see that. And there's so many other molded animals that Lego just use once and never do again, so they stay exclusive. They could reuse them and print different molds for different themes. This is, oh, there we go. Had to mark that down. That's more like it. Spin the lower legs out and then the feet back in. Oh, oh, it keeps posing itself forward. Oh, oh yes, 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 yes. Doesn't help that the arms are down by the side. They should be forward, ready to grab Mando. And there we go. Now we've got the hands. We've still got to do something about the inside here. I think I'll just grab, we've done the slopes. We need plates and tiles back. Our 1x2s. And then our, I don't think 2x2s. And we don't really have any 1x2s. Maybe those brackets can be switched out. Swapped out for a 1x1 or a 1x2 or plated off rather than tiled. What do we need 1x2s for? The backs of the feet needed at least another one each just to thicken them out. And then, oh, the backs here. To stop these from collapsing too far in, I'm going to put a tan plate on the backs of the lower legs. Again, could be, to stop the legs from moving too much, could be a door rail, but I don't think that's a problem that we've got, especially with how new some of these ball joints are. That's still allowing us to angle our feet backwards in case we want them to like sit down, relax, rocking chair style. And then any more 1x2s? No, just the hands to go. Make sure it's standing up. For the hands, I think we go with claws. We do have, they're not long nails, they're not rancor claws, but they are nails and the fingers themselves are quite long. So if we can get some of the clips with the bar holders and then get claws on them, if that doesn't work, we can add a thumb on the side mech style. But 3 of those in a row, rancor style, we'll also be able to wrap around a minifigure, and we could do that mech trick where they include a bracket on the back to stand the figure. You had the ice wumper that came with Luke, the cave and the snowspeeder, and that was the first time seeing a molded creature for Star Wars besides Jabba. Jabba does quite well with the molded. It would be nice to see a brick built Jabba. I think the roundedness is just hard to get, and Lego are never going to release a, well, not never going to release a brick built Jabba. Never going to release a brick built Jabba in a minifigure scale set, not with minifigures and the rest of the cave and other bits like that. Yeah, but definitely don't need, is it? It's looking a bit taller than 11 studs. I have to admit, it can be 11 studs though. We can fold it down, get the neck down a little bit. How many studs is it? Is it, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13? It's just over 13 studs. Maybe we do have to crank the neck down. So we'll remove one plate. Watch this do those 2 studs. One plate there. How tall is this creature now? Is it still 13? Did I break apart our measuring tool? This was so scientific as well. 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh, it's about 12. It's about 12. I think that was like 11 point sync anyway. Oh, it goes down a bit more. It goes down a little bit more. Ooh, what I'm going to do then on the underside. Oh no, I can't replace that. Oh, door rail. Door rail would be perfect. Oh no. Good thing we measured it though before continuing. Otherwise we'd end up with a creature too tall. It is, so it's 4 meters, which is probably not far off 11 feet. 13 feet. There you go. It's 13 feet tall. I thought it was a lot taller than that. 4 meters isn't short, but for Star Wars characters. But for Star Wars characters, I feel like 4 meters... The Rancor's got to be taller than 4 meters. Rancor's got to be like 6. At least. Spelled that right, first time. 4.2 meters. This is how big the Rancor is. See, that's crazy to me. I thought the Rancor were, well, around 5 meters it says here, but average height of 4.2 meters. Where's this from? 4.1 and 3. So 4.2 meters is from Ultimate Star Wars. What's Ultimate Star Wars? Oh, it's a book 2015 by these guys. Anthony Daniels got a foreword. Okay, if Anthony Daniels said it, then it's fact. But the Star Wars data bank, this is 2014 onwards. It has a load of facts on their site. They say 5 meters flat or 5 point something? 5 meters flat, I'd go with that. So that's an extra. If this is 12 studs tall and this is meant to be 4 meters, add another 3 studs, that's 15 studs tall. So this is how big this creature is. I don't have anything that's 3 studs tall. I can make something. This is how big the Mantellian Savrip is. The Rancor is this tall. And it's got the head coming out of its chest, so its arms are this tall as well. Do I have a mech that I can show it off next to? I might have a mech down here that I could show it. Yes, I've got the Clone Trooper mech. The one that we modified into the 327. I've got the Clone Trooper mech right here. And you see how its arms are coming out the side? The Rancor head would be around the torso, making it the perfect mech. I think it would be the perfect mech. And comparing it to this guy, oh, the Rancor might be even taller than a mech. So it looks to be about 3 studs difference. Let's just verify that. We've got the mechs lined up at the bottom. Make sure their feet are lined up. That is lined up. And then an extra 3 studs. No, that's an extra stud taller. It's 1 stud taller than... That's kind of annoying. I'm going to be honest. The fact that a Rancor is 1 brick wider than the height of a mech. You'd have to add... I guess you'd have to go with bigger feet. I think you'd get away with calling it though. Plus this is 12, this is meant to be 11. That's a good point. So it's the same height as a mech. The Rancor is the same height as a mech. I will be building a Rancor mech for May, for sure. You can go back. I'll be parting you out later. But it's the same height as a mech. Oh, that's amazing. It's about double the height of Luke Skywalker. I think mechs are triple the height, almost. Luke Skywalker. How tall is Luke Skywalker meant to be? Luke Skywalker is too short for a stormtrooper. The Rancor must be like, can't be 3 stormtroopers tall. That's like 180 centimeters. 5 meters, not quite triple. How tall is Luke? We want Luke Skywalker, not Mark Hamill, because, well, they should be fairly similar. Luke Skywalker is 1.72 to 1.75. We'll go with 1.72. 1.72. Almost 3 times the height of Luke. That does not look that tall in the movie, but I suppose that's probably what the 4 point something height was for. That's probably the movie one, and this is based on sizing it up today. If you would size it up with its other media and different portrayals over the years, there are some inconsistencies of how tall they can get, and different Rancors as well will get different heights. There'll be different sizes. But was that grey or was that? Oh, I think that was dark tan. We might come across that piece and it'd be in the complete wrong drawer at some point, just like we did earlier today. We're sowing Easter eggs for future build streams. Keeping up the canon. What do we need? Fingers. They should all be in here. We've got claws. I don't want to go with gold. I think light tan would work for the nails. They look very light and very tan. So I need 6 of those. Maybe pouring it into my hand will be easier without the tray. Oh, look. 2 2x2s that were hidden. There we are. What's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you to the T-Rex fossil skull for most of those. The ones that we didn't use on our mythosaur. 4 meters feels tall. I think the Tauntaun slightly beats the Wampa with a mold. Tauntaun molds were cool. I love the Microfighter. I wish the Microfighter had a Technic pin in the legs connecting it, and didn't have, wasn't studded in, bracketed in, and connected solid. Had a bit of movement to the legs, because then you could position it like it's running. And that's, well, maybe the Tauntaun standing there at the top of the snowy hill is the most iconic that a Tauntaun has been. But having a Tauntaun running just feels right. You've got to have the Tauntaun running across. Tan, the clone trooper. What colour fingers does the clone have? Black. Spidey has red. The shock trooper also has black. There's a lot of black. Ooh! We've got Sandman here from the Spider-Man set, and Sandman has tan fingers. I'd be all right with pulling this apart as long as we keep the minifigure on there. I don't think having these gloves elsewhere would be too much an issue. And also, inside, we've got the bar elements. Let me clean the desk up a little bit. That's handy having that Spider-Man set. If you haven't seen the video on that, that's we've incorporated a few different bits into it. We got like the taxi on top, Green Goblin's glider. Could have even used gold to match up to the bar elements we used previously. They come on Thanos, and Thanos had a glove on one hand, so that doesn't work as well. We also don't need these toothy pieces, these nails, because that's the full finger. You could paint a little fingernail on there. That would work, but also unnecessary. They're so tiny. The crazy fact about the Rancor is it was ultimately a puppet. Same with Jabba. I got to look at the eyes of Jabba when I went to Star Wars Identities. That was fun. Just seeing the 2 massive eyes there. That's what I was thinking of using the thumb for. But I don't think there is a thumb element, is there, on this creature? There's just no thumbs. So we'll get the minifigures out of here as well. Otherwise, they will never go back on the display. I did get the other minifigure that fell on the last string. All right. So these fingers are already prepared. I think they're the right way round, and oh, they're not the right way round. They're the opposite way round. We're going to have to flip them. Would have been nice if they were the right way round, but you can't have everything. We found the hands, we stole them off Sandman. Now we just got to flip them the other way around. We could give Sandman this just single claw, but I'm probably going to part these out and add them to my collection. Wasn't too fussed about the hands. I think the base of Sandman is the best part by far. That display is still amazing. Still sat on my desk. And I got no plans of breaking it down anytime soon. Just realized I think these fingers were on the right way, so I didn't need to break this one down. But now we got the two claws. We can pop off the pieces that were there before, and these can hold the Mandalorian. I'm sure they're going to be picking him up and smashing him around a few times. The only thing we're going to need to add in the middle, like when we made the 80? No, it's an 80 something T. Might be an 80, but it's the modified one with like the cargo hold in the middle. When we did that, we had a transclear bar sticking out that then went up into Mando's jetpack, and that allowed him to display himself on top. All this needs is not even a 1x2, just like a 1x1. Oh, okay, 1x2 works, and the dark brown we get away with because that's the color of Mando's legs. AT-ACT, thank you. The AT-ACT from the Mando trailer. And this acts the same way as that. Mando's leg would clip onto this bracket, and then we'd be able to display him. Where is Mando's on the speeder? Mando's on the speeder. Where is the Mando speeder? Back here. Here we go. Mando speeder. Mando, off you get. Speeder, off you get. And then we'll keep the cape on. We can hopefully hug the fingers around in to make it look a bit more realistic. And this is minifigure scale, so the arms don't stick out that far. It's a little problematic. You'd have to hold Din out to the side. The head tilts, I suppose, with the eyes in the side of the head. This is staring down Mando. This is the creature giving Mando the evils and ready to like tear him to shreds. The last thing we need is, oh, pardon me. The last thing we need is some teeth, which is the hard part. Do we match up to the horn and go with a light tan? Or do we, I mean, light tan and white are the only options we've really got. I don't have much more of a choice. And I think the pearly whites is going to be too obvious. Adding them to the bottom, top teeth seem to be hidden. Yeah, I think you can see my top teeth more than you can see my bottom teeth when I'm talking. I think that works out. Light tan looking best. Light tan on the bottom for the Mantellian Savrip. Also looks very intimidating. We might have to like dislocate the jaw so we can get it in. This is now very snake-like. Dislocating the jaw to feed on prey. Oh, that's terrifying. That is spooky. Oh, a little slope up the side would have been so perfect there. We could add one of the longer slopes up the entire side. I think that comes out too far over here. I mean, there's no harm in trying it, is there? We can give it a go. Could also use 1x1 studs. Could do for the teeth. Could do, because this mouth is never really shut. It's always going to be open. Unless we flip it onto the top as well. Yeah, 1x1 studs look good, especially if they've got like two big teeth at the bottom. It's a great swap out. Also, if you could get this bottom bit flipped round so that this is a underside tile with the studs on top, maybe a grill, so you've got the side pattern of the teeth, but you've still got the full row of them at the front, and then you could tile off the back, or 1x1 vertical clips. Ooh. Ooh. That 1x1 clip option. If I've got those in dark tan, do I go brown, light tan? Light tan would also work, but as we've got the teeth, I guess our arms being twisted here. If you had an extra gap in there, extra little bit, you could probably add a little bar as well, because some of the bars have the different patterns going along them. But now we've got the teeth. I think that's our Mantellian Savrip complete. So let's double check. We didn't do anything on the inside of the legs. We didn't do anything on the inside. Should I tile that off? Should I see if we've got a rounded off tile? See if we've got something to whack in there. Either a stud, a tile. Because the knees don't seem to have anything going for them on the inside. Or what I could do is get another grill piece in gold, so that it looks like the wraps are going the whole way around. That's a good idea, because we've got more gold pieces of that. More gold. Where'd that come from? I think there was more gold somewhere in here. Or dark tan. We have dark tan 1x2s. Did we look for any orange ingots? No. Well, I don't think we looked, but we don't have any anyway. Only basically every other. We have orange again, but no dark orange. No dark orange, no dark tan. 1x1 studs would also work here on the inside of the legs. I think we keep that clear. I kind of want to swap that out for another 1x1 stud if we've got any. I know there's one more in here. Let's see if there's two. Where's the one? Come on. There's got to be another. Got to be another. No other. Maybe we go with a 1x1 stud here. Or a clip. Maybe we can clip the legs together. Get like a bowler round the legs. Old-fashioned rope, 2 rocks on the end. Mando throws. It ties up the feet and then they're just slowly falling over. Slow motion and everything. That's how I envision it going. Oh, look, we've got some 1x1 studs. I'll use that instead of the bracket. Just got to pop off the knees, pop off the lower legs. It's the knees are the ball joints, not quite popping off the lower legs. Then replacing these brackets, just like so, for these studs. Creates a little pattern. Gold would work here as well. Get a bit more detail, especially a gold 1x1 would work nicely. I think I'm putting these back on the wrong legs, but the good thing is they don't have to be on the right legs or the right way around, because you can position them after the fact. Does it still stand? It stands. It literally stands the test. So now let's take one final look. Here we go. Here is our Mantellian Savrip. Oh my God. This thing is amazing. Look at that. We've got the robes with the belt. We've got the gold chains around the legs. And we did not spare any detail. We've got the smooth top arms with the 2x2s. The legs have some studs exposed as to the elbows to create some details. This thing looks good 360, and I'm covering up a lot of the head here. But look at that, the horns as well. Thank you for all of your improvements as well in the chat. They helped quite a bit. And before we wrap it up, I think there's one test left. We've got to see if this snaky droideka can roll across the desk, right? It has to be done. It started off looking like a droideka. It's going to finish looking like the droideka. I'm going to remove Mando for this test. So the Mando gets a bit motion sickness, you know. We don't want Mando throwing up all over the desk, because then I'm going to have to clean that up as well. All right, let's fold in the arms. Bearing in mind the Lego droideka isn't meant to roll too well. So if this rolls at all, I think it's a big success. I don't even want to pose the legs in too much. I just want to see if it rolls as so. So we'll start it here and just send it off. It rolled about as well as the droideka did. All right, let's pose the legs in a little bit then. We'll have it curled up like it's ready to roll. This is a creature. It understands how to tuck. I think that should be good. And it's just not rolling. The blunt force on its head. Maybe we start it here. It's like it's ready to roly-poly. Oh, it rolls decently. I think the flat back doesn't help. If we had something built out the back a bit more, then it would roll a bit better. It doesn't roll poorly without that though. It's just a lot of flat edges. This thing could definitely roll into battle like an armadillo and then Bakugan style just spring out and be ready to attack. 100%. I'm going to have a bit of fun with this now. Definitely feels like the 2001 Droideka has the best rolling ability. Yeah, some of the mini builds as well. Some of the big scale Droidekas haven't been too bad. But the classic Droidekas, because they were made with purpose over design, are always going to be the best. Anyway. Oh, this Mantellian Savrip is amazing. Let's put Mando back on. This is how it's going to be displayed. Mando Speeder's now missing its driver and companion. The Savrip giving Mando the evil eyes. But that is all for today's stream. Just running up on time. Actually, perfect timing. We got this finished and we found out that I'm a part of the Ren clan. Yeah, go back to the start of the video or head over to starwars.com after this and give a test yourself. Come back, comment on this stream what clan you are a part of. Can't wait to find out. Shocked at how that specific build of the Droideka is the only one that does roll. It's interesting they haven't managed to repeat it at all, isn't it? That's a fun stream for another time. But that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Frank. And may the bricks be with you always.